What is up, y'all, and welcome back to X Talking Ish. It is your boy Ish, and as you can see, I am here all by myself at the moment because X is on his way home from work. But while X is gone, I will be your master of the draft. And as you may have just seen, just at this last moment, the Cincinnati Bengals just selected Jamar Chase. Like I said, okay. So everybody who wasn't aware, you didn't catch the mock draft. Right now, I have picks 1, 2, 4, and 5, all correct. But Jamar Chase from LSU, wide receiver, he is going to hook up with his homie Joe Burrow in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow already knows him, so hey, man, it is perfect. That's exactly what you want to see. As for the first 4 picks before we came on the air, if you did miss it, I will review that with you guys. Trevor Lawrence went number 1, quarterback from Clemson. Everybody already knew that was going to happen. At number 2, we had Zach Wilson, quarterback from BYU, selected by the New York Jets. So he is going to New York. We're going to see how that goes. To be honest, I have some doubts about it, but hey, they loved him. They like what he can do, so we're going to see how that fits. At number 3, we had San Francisco 49ers, surprising everybody, I guess, a little bit. It was kind of getting leaked that they were interested in Trey Lance, but hey, Trey Lance over Mac Jones, that was really big. So we do have a home for Trey Lance. We are still waiting to see where Mac Jones and Justin Fields goes, but Kyle Shanahan's got his guy. What are they going to do with Jimmy Garoppolo? We'll have to wait and see. Some people think that they're going to have to trade Jimmy. Some people think that, he's going to be the mentor for Trey Lance. I don't know about that. At number 4, Atlanta selected Kyle Pitts. I think this was a no-brainer, one of the first no-brainer selections of the draft. You're sitting at number 4. If you're not going with a quarterback, you have to go with Kyle Pitts. There was no other option there. And they definitely went and did that. So now they got a freak athlete that they can move around. And with the rumors that Julio Jones may be on the way out in Atlanta, that is a big, big pickup there because he gives you a lot of versatility, a lot of options. You can put him outside for some plays to replace Julio. You can put him in the slot, and you can also put him as a tight end. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in Atlanta with Kyle Pitts and whether or not Julio Jones is still there. I think if Julio is still there, man, this is going to be an offense that defenses don't want to play against. If Julio isn't there, it's going to be interesting to see how they utilize Kyle Pitts with the absence of Julio. You still got Calvin Ridley there, of course. Here at number 5, we got Jamar Chase going to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals said they needed to get a weapon for Joe Burrow, and they did just that. They got their guy with Jamar Chase. Some would say he is by far the best wide receiver in the draft this year. He did sit out this past year, didn't play. So the tape that we are watching of him is from 2 years ago. But hey, it doesn't matter. When he did play and with Joe Burrow, nonetheless, the man was he couldn't be stopped. You couldn't guard him. You couldn't really stop him. And I'm interested to see if he has the Justin Jefferson type of effect in Cincinnati. Is he going to be able to step in right away and impact that offense like rookie wide receivers don't do, right? They do already have Tyler Higbee, so that's interesting to see how you're going to pair him now. Now you got 2 wide receivers in Cincinnati, a number 1 and a number 2 that you're really confident in. Joe Burrow is going to have – he's going to have weapons now. They haven't had weapons like this in Cincinnati since, I think, T.O. and Ocho Cinco. That's just for me. I am partial because Ocho Cinco is by far my favorite receiver of all time. And I know T.O. is X's favorite receiver of all time. But I think that was the last time they really had weapons that I would say, like, Cincinnati's a team to watch. Now I am definitely telling you guys, when Joe Burrow comes back and he's healed, Cincinnati is a team to watch. So moving forward, at number 6 now, we have the Miami Dolphins. The pick is in, so obviously they're not trading out. I thought maybe it was a possibility. Who are they going here? You can see down at the bottom, we had in our mock draft, X had Devonta Smith. I also had Devonta Smith going to Miami. Let's see if they go with him. I've seen Mel Kiper's latest draft had Jalen Waddle going. So it's clear that people agree wide receiver is the need here. Wide receiver is going to make the biggest impact. You got to help Tua Tagovailoa out. How do you do that? For me, I think you bring in somebody he's familiar with. We'll have to see if they agree. They may think Jalen Waddle, who is the most electric wide receiver, he's the most electric offensive player in the draft, to be honest. They may go with that. And I wouldn't blame them if they went with Jalen Waddle. I think he offers you more when it comes to being able to impact the return game, as well as being a receiver that you can move around. And he's a mismatch on any safety in the league just for his speed alone. So let's see who they bring out. It looks like Roger is walking up to the podium now. I don't know. I'm a little nervous here. I'd like, just for my sake, it to be Devonta Smith. Jalen Waddle. It's Jalen Waddle. So it was a receiver, but it was not the receiver that I thought it was going to be. It is the most electric man in the draft, Jalen Waddle from Alabama, going to Miami to help out Tua Tagovailoa. So, hey, great pick. I think they needed a wide receiver. And why not go get a guy that can bust it open at any time? If I'm the Patriots, if I'm the Bills, if I'm the Jets, I'm really sad right now because this is not a guy you want to see out there. You don't want him returning the ball, and you don't want to see him in the slot either. So I definitely think this is a great pick. I do know that they have Parker on the outside, so they do have a big wide receiver already there. They also have, I believe, Jakeem Grant as another wide receiver in Miami. So they've got some guys there, but obviously no one as dynamic and electric as Jalen Waddle. So, hey, man, the home run threat that he possesses on each and every play, it's going to be nice to see Tua have that kind of weapon now, because I think last year there was an issue with just Tua. He was being kind of safe for my liking. I think he was being way too safe. I think that now we may see him go out there and, like X and I say, slang that thing. He might go out there and slang it. And they may give him the reins to do that now. When you got somebody that, people are comparing to Tyreek Hill, I mean, it's a little early. Let's slow it down a little bit. Everybody thinks all the fast receivers coming out now are Tyreek Hill until they get out on the field, and they're not. Because I remember last year, Henry Ruggs, we were saying the next Tyreek Hill, Las Vegas thought that they were getting Tyreek Hill to bring into the division, and then it didn't work out. It's easy to say you're the next Tyreek Hill. It's a lot different to go out there and do it. So, hey, I'm wishing Jalen Waddle all the best. I hope that he does go out there and make some big plays. But let's hold on and let's wait and see if he really has that cheetah mentality. So, with that being said, at number 7, we have the Detroit Lions on the clock. X has them taking Jamar Chase, who is already off the board. So, X, you were wrong. Womp, womp, womp. I have them, on the other hand, taking Penei Sewell, offensive lineman out of Oregon. I think that they need to protect Jared Goff. This is it. This is the pick. I think we're going to see our first lineman off the board. If it's not Penei Sewell, it'll be someone else. But I think it's going to be Penei Sewell. I think for sure we're going to see the first lineman off the board. They may go corner. It is possible that they could go corner. They also need corner. But I just don't think that you can pass up the number 1 offensive lineman in the draft, following all the way to number 7. After that is where I'm really getting ready to, maybe I need to go pop some popcorn because the show is about to start. After number 7, with Carolina at number 8, we're going to see what happens there. Are they going to get another weapon for Sam Darnold? Are they going to protect Sam Darnold? Are they going to go corner? Which I think I said they were going to go corner. And then at number 9, the Denver Broncos, who just traded for Teddy Bridgewater, and all the reports came out and said that they were still in the quarterback market. You have Mac Jones, who's available. You have Justin Fields. Are you in love with either of them? Do you feel like at number 9, you should invest in a quarterback? If I'm a Denver fan, I don't know. I just don't know about that one. It's hard to say whether or not they should get a quarterback, only because it seems like they've invested so much draft capital in the past couple of years in quarterback that if I'm Denver, I'd rather get a different need. But hey, I'm not a GM yet, but we will have to wait and see. The pick is in for the Lions at number 7. Is it going to be an offensive lineman? Is it going to be a corner? That is the question. I definitely think it's got to be offensive line here. Protect Jared Goff. You just invested in him. This is the start of what we talked about on the show a couple weeks ago. They made that trade with LA, and they got all these picks back, and everybody wants to know who won the trade. This pick, while it is not one of the picks they got in the trade, it is important to note that this is going to be the start of that ball that they hope gets rolling in Detroit towards a winning franchise, a Super Bowl contender. This pick has to be one of the core guys that helps to build that culture in the franchise for the other picks that you got in that trade. So it is important here. They don't have Kenny Galladay. They need a receiver. They need linemen. They need corner. Pretty much they just need they need a team. But I don't know. We're going to see here, man. I'm excited to see what they go. Because unlike X, I like the Lions. I like them. I think that they're a nitty-gritty team, and I want to see them succeed. I want to see them compete with Green Bay. I want to see them compete with Chicago in that division. But they still got a ways to go, man. They got a ways to go. Hopefully they start moving in the right direction with this pick here. Oh, Mr. Goodell's walking up to the podium now, guys. Penei Sewell is the selection. Tackle from Oregon. Like I said, hey, if you're ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, Todd McShay, Mel Kiper, hit me up, man. So far, if I missed it, I only missed the guy. I didn't miss this position. So far, I'm pretty good. I got Penei Sewell off the board. That's who they go with. They're protecting Jared Goff like I thought they should. And hey, he's a great pick. This guy, man, if it's any other draft, I think he probably would have been a top 5 pick. But because of all the quarterback needs and Kyle Pitts, he drops. But hey, this guy is a monster out there at tackle. I think he will definitely slide in from day one and be their anchor on that line. And what better way to start building a franchise, a championship contending franchise, than with the tackle, right? You got your quarterback. Let's get him a tackle. We can go from there. You got 2 running backs already there. I like what Detroit is doing. I want to see them keep going. If you guys are tuning in, make sure you hit us in the comments. Let us know what you think of the draft so far. How many picks have you got right so far? Do I need to call you and make you a GM? I would like to know. Also, let me know what you think of our mock drafts. So far, X is not looking too good. But hey, we have a lot of picks to go in this first round. There's a lot of trade speculation. There's the reports that Aaron Rodgers is not happy in Green Bay. Do we see a trade out of Green Bay before the end of the night. That is something that I want to see. I hope we do, because I like chaos. And I want the chaos of Aaron Rodgers forcing his way out of Green Bay. I just want to see it so bad, especially if he goes to Las Vegas. Oh, the Raiders. That would be wonderful, except nobody wants Derek Carr, so I doubt that's going to happen. Let me double check here. So, look who just decided to pop in.
I'm back.
He got mad because I was talking about how bad his picks were.
It down for X Talking Ish, and I don't know about the people that's watching out there, but I know I'm watching my boy Ish out here get these picks right, like he know what he talking about or something. I see you play, boy.
Hey, I was just telling him they need to call me up. ESPN. I'm available. You know,
you got 6 out of 7 so far.
That's what I'm just trying to tell the people, you know, even the ones I missed, I got the position right. So Houston Texans, I'm right here in your backyard. Nick Casario doesn't work out, let me know.
I will say this though, because of course I was listening in before I jumped back on to the live stream, and just like you said, and I 100% agree. I thought it started at pick number 3 when it comes to the fun. We really started to get into the fun now with pick number 8. We get to see what the Panthers starting to do. What happens with the Broncos, or even with the Panthers? They're going to trade out. Maybe the Patriots might come in and maybe get that 8 spot. Who knows? Maybe they might trade out with the Cowboys at pick number 10. You know, I agree with you, Ish. It's going to be some fun stuff and some chaos going on very shortly, and we just have to wait and see because. Hey, this is very interesting. I mean, just right now, the first 7 picks of the draft, pretty standard so far. Of course, 1 and 2, 3, of course, with the Trey Lance pick. We saw reports earlier this morning saying Trey Lance was a favorite to go to San Francisco. And to be honest with you, I really thought it was hoopla.
You did?
The reason why I thought it was hoopla was because it's just so late into the draft when it comes to, we were literally 10 hours from the start of the draft, and all of a sudden Trey Lance comes out of left field saying that this could be the guy. And
so I get what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying. Like at first it was Mac Jones. And Trey Lance wasn't really even a part of the picture.
Not at all. He wasn't even in that conversation.
That's all I'm saying. Like it was just very like, whoa. Like,
I agree. That came
heard
out
nothing
of
but
left field.
good things about Trey Lance. I'm not taking anything away from him. Heard he's killed the interviews. I've heard he's killed everything that he's done up when it comes to the draft process. But shout out to Kyle Shanahan. Like seriously, Kyle Shanahan, Lynch as well, John Lynch. You seriously have to give their kudos to them because they easily could have went with Mac Jones and be mediocre, but like you said,
shout them out for a different reason.
Well, this is what I was gonna say, because like you said with Jimmy G, there's reports that he could get traded. Most likely, he's not, because from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing, most likely they are going to go with Jimmy G week 1, and Jimmy G is going to take them as far as Jimmy G can take them. And if they see that, hey, this is Jimmy G's ceiling. Like, we can't get no much better with him, then I think it will become Trey Lance's team to lose after that.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I thought you were going to give him kudos because, bro, they kept it on the wraps. Like, let's be honest.
That too.
They kept that under wraps.
Especially in this era with social media and all this.
And all the leaks and everything that normally come out and all the sources that are out there.
They like definitely played everybody on that one.
At first, it was Mac Jones and Justin Fields. Everybody was like, oh, is it Mac Jones or Justin Fields? And they were like, oh, Mac Jones. They like Mac Jones better than Justin Fields. So you were thinking, okay, Mac Jones number 3. Then all of a sudden, within like the last 2 days, now all of a sudden Trey Lance got into the conversation, and then it became Trey Lance was the favorite. I also was kind of like,
and this is a guy like you said as well. This is a guy that didn't even play all last year except for 1 game. Yep. So we're going off a film of him in 2019, which again we respect him. We respect the number 3 pick in this draft, but not too many people are going to get picked. The
pick is in.
We're waiting for that. We'll go ahead and talk a little bit after that.
The pick is in. J.C. Horn, South Carolina. So again, I was right about the position,
wow.
wrong on the player, but it is what it is. They like J.C. Horn more, which J.C. Horn is a bigger corner. He's a really good cover corner. He makes plays.
I mean, and it makes sense. It does make sense for the Carolina Panthers to get a guy played at South Carolina. He's right up the street.
That makes sense.
He is the son of Joe Horn. So of course he has an NFL type of mindset already. We assume so. Wouldn't be surprised at all if you see a celebration from him in a game where he goes and picks up a cell phone or something like that. Who knows? We might see that happen too. But I'll say this with the Panthers, this is going to be very interesting because this is going to be a pick where we're going to have to see who really is for the next 5 or 10 years who is going to be the better corner, Surtain or Horn, and I honestly feel like that. I mean, I think the Cowboys could get Surtain if the Broncos don't, but maybe the Broncos might get him now with this pick, with a number 9 pick. Right?
Can I just say this though? I'm a little disappointed in Horn going before Surtain, only for this reason, right? There's a couple things are certain when you talk about Alabama football, right? You know they're gonna be in the conversation for a national championship.
Their defense is always going to be there.
You know their defense always going to be really good. But they always have dogs in that secondary.
They do.
And those guys always go on in the NFL to play well because Nick Saban does a great job of teaching the secondary at Alabama. And those guys go through it. They do man, they do zone. They can do man zone combos. They have a plethora of coverages that they go through at Alabama. So for me, Surtain was my number 1 corner, which is why I said that they were going to pick him in the mock draft. But I can see why Horn may be the guy that you go with because he has long arms. He's a big guy. He's a great tackler. And I think in Carolina, you're going to play more man.
And especially going against the receivers, that go in that division.
Oh yeah, Michael Thomas,
Kyle Pitts now.
Kyle Pitts. You're
gonna see them two against each other again.
You got Antonio Brown, Godwin, Mike Evans in Tampa. So yeah, you want a bigger guy there, and you want a guy with long arms there. I can see why you went with Horn. For me, I would have probably gone with Surtain, but hey. Now the fun begins, everyone. If you haven't popped your popcorn, go pop it now.
And I appreciate you for saying that, because I got meal prep. I'm going to go ahead and eat up on my meal prep or whatnot, because it's going to be a long night. It's going to be a fun night, though. It's going to be an interesting night. Bro. So, already, man. Hey, this is an interesting draft.
Yeah, I was excited about this draft because of all of the unknowns, right?
All the unknowns, the possibilities,
the possibilities.
The talent.
It's talent all over the place. Denver here, they're saying that they're still in the quarterback market. Like I was saying earlier, what do they do here? Like, I want to know, do you really? And again, I think personally, I'm not going quarterback if I am Denver. If I personally had to choose, I don't want a quarterback because I feel like the team has invested too much in the past couple of years in quarterback. You've tried over and over and over again. Can we rock 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater and Drew Lock? Just 1 year? Can we just rock with them 1 year? And if they suck, hey, we're going to be up early to pick next year.
Well, the reports are apparently Drew Lock might be on the trading block. This just came out earlier. This just came out about 4 or 5 hours ago.
Who wants Drew Lock?
You'll be surprised. Who knows?
Who wants Drew Lock?
I don't know.
Other than maybe the Texans, because the Texans need everybody.
Well, I'm just saying we don't know yet until the Broncos surprise everybody and trades him to whoever. So we just have to wait and see how that goes, because
I'm trying to think of where he should go.
This is how I feel Ish about the Broncos. You got to go defense on this one. The reason why I feel that way is because, like you said, with the quarterback situation that they already have now, stop trying to mess that up. Just keep that with it. You got your veteran, you got your young guy. Just rock with that. Make sure your defense is what it needs to be, because your defense has been carrying y'all for the last 10 years anyways. Mm-hmm. So solidify the defense and hopefully get the quarterback room where it needs to be to where you have a guy like a Teddy Bridgewater that has been there, done that, right? He can help mold Drew Lock into a better quarterback. And if Drew Lock gets hurt or something happens to him, you have a capable veteran that can come in and help win you some games. I mean, it's not like you're not going to sweep the Chiefs. You know, you can split with the Raiders. You can split with the Chargers. And then again, hopefully win your games that, you know, that are outside your division and maybe grab that last playoff spot in the AFC. But I don't want the Broncos to have to go all in on a quarterback now when they don't have to.
So this is the first pick where I fell victim to the trades and everything that happened after the mock draft. Because I'm going to defend myself here and say I had Trey Lance going here, but that was before they traded for Teddy Bridgewater. Because if they had traded for Teddy Bridgewater before the mock, I would not have selected a quarterback here. I would have gone somewhere else.
Look, and this is why we talked to everybody when we did our mock draft a week ago. This is why we wanted to try to do our mock draft as closely to the draft as possible, because there were so much movement going on in just the last 2 weeks alone that has thrown people's mock drafts out of the window.
Oh yeah, all out the window.
Because when one person moved from one team to another, it's a domino effect, right? So it's just one of those things where it's the teams out here. One thing I do respect about some of these teams out here, the aggressiveness in this day and age to go out and go and say, you know what, forget it. We got to go and figure out if this is the guy. Okay, let's go get it. Let's go do what we got to do. If not, then hey, we're gonna take our L. But being cautious in this league is not gonna win you shit. The reason why the Cowboys won back in the day in the 90s is because Jerry Jones was aggressive.
Oh, yeah. Hey, they're not trading out, obviously. The pick is in. So they're not trading out. That's interesting to see. Is it Justin Fields? Is it Mac Jones?
Just to give you a heads up, Ish, I am on a little delay over here, so don't say the pick just yet. I apologize. I'm on the phone. I know you got live stream. My bad. I'm about 10 seconds a little late on you.
Well, it's funny you say that because my sleeper fantasy app is ahead of my TV. I keep getting notifications on my app before I see it live.
I get the pick is in, and then I get the pick, and then at the same time I get my ESPN notification.
No, the sleeper app, it tell me real quick. So
sounds like you want to do a quick little endorsement on the sleeper app.
On the sleeper app, hey,
sleeper app?
If you have a dynasty fantasy, move it over there. Move it over there. Shoot, I'm trying to see if I can get in another dynasty. I like it. Except for nobody wants to make trades.
I'm not gonna lie, I might have to hop in there with you one of these days.
Right. Hey, fun. I like it. All we do is
fun.
We draft rookies every year. Hey, it's cool.
All right, ready when you are, boss.
I see Pat Surtain.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Corner.
Yeah.
If you're a Cowboy fan, you crying right now.
Yeah, you definitely
all wanted.
Yeah. That's if I'm a Cowboy fan right now, I'm just sitting right now, just like, yeah, that hurts. Because the Broncos really don't need him. They do, but they really don't. If that makes sense. But because he is the best player at that time, at that moment, like we talked about again in the mock draft, some teams are getting what they need, and some teams are going to get the best player available, just depending on the situation at that time. And this is by far a player that this could be the next Champ Bailey.
That's true,
right? This could be the guy for the next 10 to 15 years for your defense to step it up even more.
So what I would say about this pick is, oftentimes, like you said, you don't feel like that was a big enough need that they needed to go get him, right? They did, but they didn't. This to me is another example of when teams start making selections based off of who they play. Because if you know the division, you play the Chiefs twice. I want a corner that I can play out there against the Chiefs, and I want as many corners as I can get. I think, especially a corner that can tackle, is a big, big plus. So for me, it's kind of one of those picks where it's a good value pick, but it's also good for the division you play in, because it's very important to also keep that in mind when you're playing a team twice a year. Now the Raiders, they got Henry Ruggs, so
Alabama on Alabama crime right there.
You got to cover him a little bit, and then you also have the Chargers, who they got some receivers as well.
Keenan Allen and I know I'm missing one off the top of my head.
I mean, hey, I think that's a good pick for me in that division. Even though if corner isn't the top need for you, I think that's a really good pick for value and for who you play twice a year.
I was gonna say Mike Williams. They also have Mike Williams.
Yeah, Mike Williams. Yeah, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. I mean, like I said, corner. Hey, that's big in that division. So now with the Cowboys sitting at number 10, I had them taking offensive lineman. You had them taking a corner, which Caleb Farley is still available. Now there was talk earlier today about Caleb Farley. I think it was just about him failing his COVID test or whatever.
They ain't gonna drop his draft.
Caleb Farley, for me, he is by far the best cover corner. Now, the two guys that went before him, very good corners. But for me, Caleb Farley is the best cover corner in the draft. Just watching his tape and watching him in man and watching him in zone and the way he sticks to his receivers in and out of his breaks. To me, he's the best cover corner in the draft. Now, he's not going to have some of the other things that these other guys have, but you're not getting a slouch if you go Caleb Farley here if you're the Cowboys. I think they should go offensive lineman because that offensive line has been decimated since a couple years ago when they were the number one offensive line by far in the NFL. I have Rashawn Slater. We'll see if Caleb Farley goes. I mean, what do you think here? You think?
Well, I mean, if they're going to go corner, I mean, it makes sense to go ahead and get the next best corner on the board, which is really not a bad corner. It's just not unfortunate who you wanted. Who, surprisingly, which you know how the draft works, sometimes the guy you don't really want, that you didn't really want to get.
Oh, it's a trade. It's a trade.
Uh-oh. Let's go ahead and wait and see all the results.
The Cowboys just traded their pick to the Eagles.
So they moving from
Devonta
10 to 12?
Smith?
Hold up, because I got the delay. Give me a second.
No. It looks like the Eagles still have number 12 as well. I think Devonta Smith is the pick, maybe. They're not going to trade him for him.
It looks like the Eagles are trying to go ahead and say we need to go ahead and get a receiver ASAP and not let nobody come in here and swoop up.
Jumping ahead of the Giants, bro.
Yeah.
We still don't got the details yet.
Surprised on that. Yeah, it looks like Philly has 10.
Man, nobody
and
in
12.
the Cowboys draft room. So
okay, so let's talk quickly about Mr. Mac Jones, who was projected maybe top 3 pick, and he's still, of course, in the war room. He's still in the war room waiting to get selected. How far does he drop in this draft? Could he slip? Could he do an Aaron Rodgers? Could he do an Aaron Rodgers and drop down? Now, could he also land in a great situation with Tampa?
So I think for both Justin Fields, Mac Jones, the two guys left, both of them could potentially start dropping. If the Patriots don't trade up for one of them, and let's say the Patriots even sit at 15 and get one of them, who gets the other one? I think it's going to have to be somebody trading back into the first round. I don't see any of the teams down there wanting to select a quarterback. So that will be an interesting situation. But I think, if you're the Broncos, you didn't select a quarterback then. If you really liked either of the two that are available, and they slip past the Patriots. Do you trade back up? If you're the Atlanta Falcons, you got Kyle Pitts. Do you have capital to get back in?
All right. Did you see the latest draft report? It said that the Eagles acquire number 10 pick from the Cowboys for number 12 pick and a third round selection, and number 84 pick.
Okay. So Dallas is getting 12 because right now it's still not showing that Dallas has 12.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out as well.
I'm trying to find out. Sorry, guys. We're trying to get this information for you. And they're using all the time they have possible.
You know how this first round is. It got to be dramatic. Got to be dramatic. Wouldn't be an NFL draft without the dramatics.
Oh, yeah, they got 12. So they traded back 2 spots, and they get a third round pick. That's it. So 10 for 12, and then the third round.
Okay. Well, we've talked about this. We've talked about this for weeks now. We said this was going to be a very interesting draft. It's going to be a very this might be a draft we look back on 9 years from now, 2030, and be like, wow, this was something that changed the NFL for the rest of the decade.
I'm interested to see who the pick is. I mean, I'm thinking, the pick is in now. But to me, it's got to be receiver. Like, if I'm going to go up 2 spots, I'm not going up 2 spots for. I mean, you could get Rashawn Slater here. That's who I had going to the Cowboys, so still in play. But I think you got to go with the receiver.
I mean, that's what Eagle fans have been saying since free agency is receiver. So, I mean, I'm expecting them to go receiver, correct?
And they did go receiver. The pick is Devonta Smith, wide receiver, Alabama.
And that makes sense.
So, there we go.
And now, of course, let's remind everybody that is tuning in. Like we said before, our first round projections are everything. I'm sorry, our first round without any trades. We will, of course, update everyone throughout the first round of all the picks that have been made from 1 through 32. But the reason why you see, of course, pick number 10, Dallas Cowboys, is because this is a recap of our mock draft that we did last week. And we will be on to pick number 11 very shortly. But, I mean, I'll say this with the Eagles on that one. I understand what they were trying to do. You're trying to get that Heisman Trophy winner off the board before somebody else gets it. And you don't want them to go to the New York Giants, and you have to face them in your division twice.
That's why you make the trade, to be honest.
And that's what I was trying to figure out. Do the Cowboys, do they feel secure with being able to maybe still get Caleb Farley at 12? Because the Giants have other needs?
I think that they may have more than one guy that for them was high on their board, and they just felt like even with the Giants at 11, they still be able to get their guy. So that's why they trade back.
We give the Cowboys and Jerry Jones a lot of flack for just being the Cowboys, but one thing we do have to give a little credit on Jerry Jones is that they do draft well. They really do draft well. I mean, that's one thing about them, is that they can draft, but for some reason they just cannot put the damn talent together to win games consistently and be in the running of things in the NFC East consistently. Now, let's talk a little bit more about Devonta Smith, because the main knock on him is his size.
Mm-hmm.
those are two things. Let's be real. Us coming out of high school, going to college, that's kind of a knock on us from time to time. It was our size. Do you feel like that would be something that he's going to have to maybe gain another 10 pounds to be able to not worry about getting hurt, those little injuries that turn into bigger injuries? Or do you think he can still play at this weight, kind of like a Deshaun Jackson? Because remember, Deshaun Jackson was about 160 soaking wet. And over time, when his speed, has decreased just due to age, he hasn't really been that much of a threat anymore because he's only a one-trick pony, correct? Do you feel like with Devonta Smith, because he has a little bit more in his bag, that his size won't be as big as a problem?
I think it all depends on how they utilize him, right? And I think that he went to a great place. I think, oh, wow, there's another trade. I told y'all, if you didn't have your popcorn ready,
it's getting crazy.
Now it's starting to go. Chicago has traded up to 11, and they're going to get their guy. Now, which quarterback is it? Is it Mac Jones or is it Justin Fields? It has to be a quarterback here.
It's got to be Justin Fields, though, right? They can't mess it up twice in 3 or 4 years. 4 years now.
Chicago, I don't want Justin Fields to go to Chicago.
I mean, but if Chicago bring in Mac Jones, come on, bro.
It would be exactly what I expect from Chicago if they bring in Mac Jones.
Unfortunately, I feel like you're correct on that. If I'm a Bears fan, I would just be. Like, why are we
what
even
else
playing football?
would you expect? Yeah, Chicago.
And of course,
Wow.
let's remind everybody right quick, our 11th pick was going to be the New York Giants. Now, of course, it is the Chicago Bears. It's going to be interesting to see the direction that they go into. Sound like Chef. I'm listening.
They got the Giants got Chicago's next year's first, and they got a 5th round, and they go down to 20 for that.
So what you're saying is the Chicago Bears better hit on this pick.
Yeah, it's a big pick for them. Oh, it looks like Justin Fields' family just walked back.
I'm about to say, where'd their family go?
No, it's Justin Fields. It's Justin Fields. The dude just walked back with the hat on. He just walked past with the hat, with the Chicago hat on.
Oh, so he messed it up for everybody.
Well, he barely got in the picture, but I thought I saw the hat, so I'm thinking it's Justin Fields.
Oh, that's not a Chicago Bears hat. That's a trucker hat. I saw it. That's a trucker hat. That ain't a Bears hat.
Bro, go back and pause it. It's a Bears hat.
I'm telling you, that was a trucker hat. I'm telling you. Now you already know social media.
Bro,
social media gonna find it and they gonna put it on social media.
But they walk back into the room for a reason, and he put.
But
the phone
if it is
down
the
when he walked
Bears,
back into
if it
the
is
room.
the Bears, I think that's a great. It's a. Now I'll say this. Let me take that back. It's a great pick for the Bears. But the thing I'm just scared about, and you know this, I'm assuming
it's Justin Fields.
All right.
It's Justin Fields.
And the thing that I'm scared about when it comes to Justin Fields going to the Bears is that besides him playing at Ohio State, is he ready to step in day one? Because look, let's remember, just a month ago, Andy Dalton just got traded to the Chicago Bears, and Matt Nagy said Andy Dalton's QB1.
Well, hey, he's gonna be QB1.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure out
maybe for the first 2 weeks.
Okay. It'll be interesting. Seriously, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays
QB1.
out. I feel like Andy Dalton probably will be QB1 week 1. Now after that, that's up to you on how long you're gonna be the starter, Andy.
Can I just say, Bill Belichick, how does he do it every year? Because it looks like somehow Mac Jones is going to fall to Bill Belichick without him having to trade up or anything.
But is that what they really want? I mean, I'm assuming. I guess they do. But now, what would really be the surprising thing if the Patriots don't get him? Right? If the Patriots don't
fall,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Okay, and if he falls and he goes to again, Kansas City, Tampa Bay, a team that's
they're not selecting him.
I know they're not. I know Kansas City's not. I'm just saying he can be able to go to a team that, man, if our starter goes down, at least he can come in and at least help us not lose games.
So I heard there were some discussions about somebody threw out the idea of Baltimore selecting Justin Fields and letting Lamar Jackson.
I saw that.
Graduate, right?
I saw that. Yeah, but that was Bucky Brooks. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I mean, I took that one with a grain of salt, but
what?
Mac Jones to Baltimore.
Are you doing this right now?
Mac Jones to Baltimore?
I don't see that happening. The only reason why I don't see that happening is because I just look at it as two different type of playbooks. If Lamar gets hurt, I mean, you're gonna have Mac Jones come in and run Lamar Jackson stuff. That's just how. That's the reason why you got RG3. That's the reason why you got their third string quarterback. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but he was a decent third string quarterback.
Name from Utah, right?
Yeah, but he was a decent third string quarterback. But again, if you're going to go all out on a guy like Baltimore did with Lamar Jackson, and you're going to make sure that your offense is for a guy like Lamar Jackson, then you have to have guys that complement Lamar Jackson's playing style. So I don't see that happening with Mac Jones. But hey, this draft already 11 picks in now, and we have. But I did say we weren't going to see 5 quarterbacks in the first 10 picks. I did say that, so at least I could pat myself on the back on that one.
Justin Fields to Chicago. I don't know how I feel about it.
That's going to be something we're going to talk about for a minute, sir. For a minute.
I just don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because what if this is Mitchell Trubisky part 2? What if this is Mitchell Trubisky part 2, to where you get the wrong quarterback and the guys that come after him ends up being better than Justin Fields? I'm not saying I'm not. I know. I'm just. It's a different draft. I got that. I'm just saying it's gonna be very interesting, because even though we have some other quarterbacks like a Kyle Trask who probably won't get picked in the first round, but it'd be interesting to see the team he goes to. Got a guy like Kellen Mond that I don't really think that is a great quarterback, but a lot of scouts out there have him graded very highly when it comes to just his intangible, just the way he plays the game is a different style of quarterback. But the way I look at him when he throws the ball, just like, he's gonna have to fix some of those things. And if he can fix those things, who knows? The sky's maybe the limit for him. But that's why I'm saying it's gonna be very interesting to see where some of these quarterbacks go in the second, third, fourth, fifth round, because they could be some diamonds in the rough. But of course, shout out to Mr. Fields, began pick number 11.
Wow, number 11, Justin Fields. Wow. I mean, I'm still shocked at that one. It will be interesting to see how long Andy Dalton is QB1. If you're Andy Dalton right now, you're probably not happy.
No, I mean you're fine. Go ahead, keep collecting them checks. As long as them checks clear.
Bruh, Andy Dalton was all happy about being QB1. Not for long.
I mean, if you want to be QB1, you better go fight for it. Right?
Except for when you're an older veteran guy who isn't locked in and they draft a quarterback in the first round.
I respect that.
I mean, they only got Allen Robinson, right? Let me double check this receiving core.
Yeah, you got Allen Robinson and you got Tyreek Cohen in the backfield, which
Cohen in the backfield.
No, he's not a wide receiver, but just saying you got him out there. And to be honest with you, the clock might be ticking on Tyreek Cohen. If he's not able to have a decent season this year, I wouldn't be surprised if they move him out of Chicago.
That's why I'm.
It's like the Cowboys.
You got Rodney Adams, Reggie Davis. Oh, you got Marquise Goodwin. They just signed him.
Okay.
Thomas Ives, Anthony Miller, Darnell Mooney, Riley Ridley, Allen Robinson II, Jester Wea, and Javon Wims. Oh, Jimmy Graham's still there, tight end.
That's not Jimmy Graham of.
Yeah, it's not the old Jimmy
back
Graham,
in the day. Like that's
Jimmy
not even the same
Graham.
Jimmy no more.
It's somebody. Oh, they got David Montgomery from Iowa State.
Jimmy Graham, man, ever since he left New Orleans, just haven't been the same.
Yeah. All right, who the Cowboys got here? They can still get Rashawn Slater, like I said.
Let's remind everybody, of course, pick number 12 we had, of course, with the Eagles. They just made that trade. Maybe they still get Caleb Farley. Maybe they beef up that offensive line. Be very interesting to see the direction the Cowboys go.
I am interested to see.
See, as they bring up their defense, as they bring up their defensive ranks last season, it was horrible. Don't say anything just yet, Ish.
I know who the pick is.
I'll go ahead and announce it since you already know.
All right, yeah, do that. You do that.
And knowing the Cowboys, no matter who they picked, they will say Super Bowl.
I think this is wow. This is a pick here. If you're Dallas, if you're a Dallas fan,
you're gonna
be happy.
It obviously ain't Caleb because
Napoleon, you're gonna be really happy.
I feel like it's an offensive lineman from USC. No, defense. Oh, they must have got Quiddy Pay. Damn. Who they get?
They got the best. They got the best. For me, I think he's the best defensive player in the draft, as far as what he's gonna do impact wise. And for the Cowboys, wow.
All right, let's see what you got, Mr. Goodell. Who you got for us? Yeah, you definitely a good minute ahead of me. I need to go ahead and refresh my app right quick because I shouldn't be that far behind you.
No, it just isn't just now. They're just now announcing the pick on my TV. I told you the sleeper app already told me.
My bad. Jesus. Yeah, they on it. That was Cowboy Select. I wish they would hurry up and stop making this a cute little sideshow. Mr. Parsons from Penn State. That's a great pick. Like, wait, didn't I just say the Cowboys? They've been able to get Jalen Smith, Sean Lee. I mean, the linebacker the linebacker position for the Cowboys when it comes to drafting, they can pick that. But
and do you get a guy here?
That's a monster.
Man.
That's a monster.
That's why I'm telling you, that pick is.
That's a good pick.
If you're a Cowboy fan.
And
I'll trade back for that.
Him and Jalen Smith.
I would trade back and get that. Like, I would trade back and get a guy like that. I don't have a problem with that. And I got a third round pick. Thank you. That is a really good pick for me.
That's interesting. That is very interesting because, like I said, that starts now again. That starts shaking up the draft because for me, I didn't have him going until. Let me see.
I didn't have him going until 19.
My bad. I apologize. I had him going to pick 9, so I did have him going in that top 10 because he definitely could have been a top 10 pick. And Ish, you say you had him at pick number 19,
which a lot of people had him going to Washington.
So he kind of lands almost in the middle where we kind of had him at pick number 12.
Yep.
And I mean, it's one of those picks where you kind of look at both sides. I mean, it works for both parties, and the Cowboys, again, like I've said, they have done very well when it comes to developing their linebackers as well. So why not Mr. Parsons be the next one, right?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but seriously, though, Cowboys, that's a really good pick.
So now we got Chargers, and I'm pretty sure I had tackle going here.
I agree.
I think we both had linemen here. We agreed because, which to me, Rashawn Slater is still available. Yo, remember when when I had Trevin Jenkins going at 32?
Yeah.
And we were like, he probably won't drop that far. The linemen are dropping for some reason.
Which I really don't understand, to be honest. But
I will be right back. Give me a second.
Yeah, but of course, if you are tuning into X Talking Ish, we are just doing our first official watch party of the 2021 NFL Draft. We are on pick number 13 with the LA Chargers. And, I mean, so far, man, I mean, this has been a very just okay type of draft so far because in the beginning, of course, the first 2 picks, everybody assumed Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson went 1 and 2. Then after that, I mean, it's been kind of funny. I mean, the way that some of these picks have gone. Some teams are picking because, of course, best needs. Some teams are picking because of best player at the moment. And I've said this for weeks now. This draft would not disappoint. It's not disappointing at all so far, and I can't wait to see these rookies in the league and see what they can do. We got about 2.5 minutes left until the Chargers have to submit their pick. Of course, if you are tuning in, please let us know. You know, what was surprises that you've seen on the draft so far that you wasn't expecting. And whatever team that you like, please let us know what team, a team that you like so you can let us know who you want your team to pick. And if your team is already picked, are you happy with the pick that your team made? Because, we want to see what you guys have to hear. I mean, we want to hear what you guys have to say about the NFL draft. What's up, Mr. Lorenzo Guy? Of course, always out here checking in with the 49ers. He said 49ers are wild for that pick. And why do you say that, Mr. Guy? Why do you feel like the Niners are wild for that pick? Let us know how you feel. And also, just let you know, Lorenzo Guy was talking mess about you. He said, nah, get your ass on cam-ish.
Yeah, I saw him. Talking nonsense.
Nonsense.
No, the pick is in for the Chargers, man. I'm over here watching this, trying to make sure that I stay on top of these picks.
BRB.
All right, sir. All right. Lorenzo, how's it going? How's it going, sir? Yo, when is the server gonna be ready, Lorenzo? You're taking mighty long time. I'm trying to take over the news channel, but you slacking. Trey Lance probably should have been lower in the draft. Some would say, well, make sure you send me that information, Lorenzo. DM me on Facebook or something with that information so I can go jump on the server. As for your comment about Trey Lance, some people would agree with you. Some people would agree with you. He did not play anybody, but he only played in 17 games and threw one interception. So you can't help who you play against, and when you perform like that,
I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I understand where Lorenzo's coming from, to be honest with you, because it's very hard to pick a guy top 3 with only 17 games under his belt in a college season. I mean, and I understand where you're coming from too as well, Ish, when it comes to they had one interception. I do understand that. I got that. But playing in North Dakota State, that's all. Look, his team without him right now are still moving on in the playoffs. I'm sorry, I feel like what happened with North Dakota State? Last time I saw them, they were winning in their next game that they play, Division 2 and 3 playoffs will be next week. My bad, I apologize on that. So next May 2nd and 3rd is when they play their games. I want to continue to see if North Dakota State are going to continue to do what they've been able to do for the last 10, 15 years at North Dakota State and be dominant no matter who's the quarterback, running back, lineman, linebacker. It doesn't matter. They are a system type of team. They get the right players, of course. But with a guy like Carson Wentz, no knock to Carson Wentz. I promise you, no knock to Carson Wentz. But we saw the hype that Carson Wentz was able to bring coming out of North Dakota State, and it didn't pan out in Philadelphia. I'm not saying he's a bad guy or a bad quarterback, but for teams to just say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and go with these North Dakota State quarterbacks that haven't really been able to play against certain competition like this, but they interview well and this, that, and the third, and it shoots them in their foot, it could hurt North Dakota State moving forward when it comes to being able to get other players out of that draft. I'm sorry, out of that program into the NFL. Lorenzo also says, I expected the 49ers to take Mac Jones, which pretty sure a lot of people did, Lorenzo. He also says, not sure how I feel about the trades. And what is the Texans doing? I hate them, man. Well,
the Texans aren't doing anything because they can't do anything. They have no picks. They don't have they don't have a player that people want other than Deshaun Watson, which even at this moment, nobody wants to take that headache on. So
depends on the team.
You say it depends on the team.
Well, I mean, we got.
I think all teams are waiting.
We got a little rumbles in Green Bay with Mr. A-Rod. I'm not saying A-Rod will go to the Texans. If A-Rod go to the Texans, I'm buying me a Texan jersey. Tell you right goddamn now.
You funny.
Buy me a goddamn Rodgers jersey, but I don't want that to happen. I don't want Texan fans to have no slither of hope to win anything. So, no, I hope that Aaron Rodgers does not come to the Houston Texans.
The pick is in. Here we go.
They got to go lineman on this one, right? You got to help out Mr.
Yep, Rashawn Slater. Offensive lineman. There you go. Right. Hey, we were right.
Right on the position, just not on the player.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to.
Of course. We're here for the shits and giggles. We don't get paid for this.
I think, like we said when we had that mock draft, we talked about how there were just certain picks that just made sense, right? And I think it just made sense for them to get offensive linemen.
He also looks like a healthy lineman too. Back in the day, most linemen was looking a little sloppy.
Sloppy, yeah.
Yep. But You know, these offensive linemen nowadays, man, these are athletes. These are real athletes.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Of course, we all know anytime an offensive lineman get picked, it's not a sexy pick. But it's a sexy pick when your team wins a Super Bowl with those offensive linemen that you did draft.
Oh, definitely.
The Minnesota Vikings are on the board at 14, and they don't look like they're going to be trading out of this pick unless something crazy happens in the next minute and a half.
I doubt they trade out.
Now, do they still stick with lineman work? Because I have a defensive lineman off the board. You have an offensive lineman off the board on this pick. Do they go lineman, or do they surprise people with a surprise pick?
Yeah, I think it's ripe for lineman here. If I'm being honest, I think it's ripe for a lineman here. I would go with the lineman here. But we don't know yet. We'll see.
One thing I will say is this. Can we please chill with the chains, though?
What do you mean? You don't like the chain?
Why everything got to have a chain? Why everything got to have a chain now? You're ODing on the chain, bro.
There's a trade.
Just there.
Ooh, the Jets came up. Who the Jets getting?
Well, that goes away with my Travis Etienne pick. Yeah, this is wild. This is. And to be honest with you, this is another reason why I hate when people ask, "Oh, who you think such and such gonna get in the draft?" There's a reason why it's called the draft. Like, we don't know. Like, this is not a perfect science. I promise you, it's not. When the draft starts, all this is chaos. This is chaos. This is organized chaos. I love it. I do, but you can't ask anybody. You can't. Mel Kiper or Todd McShay are not going to get all the damn picks right. They're not.
It's impossible.
It is, but it's very interesting to watch. It's very, it's like the beginning of the new season for the NFL. That's how I call it. That's what I call it pretty much. It's the beginning until you get to Super Bowl 56, right? So we get a little taste of the season. Then we can get back into, training camp, get into preseason games, regular season, postseason, and we're at the Super Bowl. And we just start all over again.
So let me ask
Jets,
you this.
Who you got? My bad. Yeah,
the pick is in for the Jets. But let me ask you this. Who do you think they want that they decided to trade up for? Because if I'm thinking to myself here, right, you had New England sitting at 15. So you jump up to 14 in front of New England for who? Like, I think everybody in the world at this point believes Mac Jones is going at number 15. Okay. So if you knew New England was going to probably pick a quarterback, you have no idea who Minnesota is going to choose. But unless you think that they're going to choose your guy, I don't see a reason to move up. So I'm concerned. I'm not concerned. I'm confused at who they might be targeting here.
So are they going to try to scoop up Kwity Paye, or are they going to try to get somebody like a Azeez Ojulari. Because I'm assuming they're going to go defense, right? Or unless they go offense, would be maybe a lineman to help out with Zach Wilson.
I mean, so I'm thinking Mac Jones is going 15. It could be so you could be looking at Elijah Vera Tucker here. Christian Darrisaw is still available. I just don't really know. Caleb Farley's still available. Oh, okay. So potentially you could be moving. You could go Caleb Farley here because you think Arizona's going to pick him at 16. Maybe. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, if you think Arizona's going to pick Caleb Farley at 16 and you really want Caleb Farley, you go there, which I like that pick. If I'm a Jets fan, we got our quarterback, and now we get a corner. That's a good selection for me. But hey, we'll have to wait and see. The pick is in, so we're waiting to see who they're moving up for. But hey, it's got to be an impact guy if you're willing to move up. It's just my thing.
It's not like Zeke was happy with the pick.
Yep, Zeke is already, making his own decisions on who they're choosing. I think he's trying to let me know who he thinks they should choose. But hey, we'll have to wait and see, Zeke.
This is coming from Adam Scheffler. He says, one NFL head coach called a Lions first-round pick, Penei Sewell, the one surefire Hall of Famer in this draft class. So I'm hoping he can have a long career in the NFL because I think he's somebody that is well worth the hype. Right? I mean, there's people out here, of course, hype-wise, they're gonna have it, but from what I've been able to watch, his tape and whatnot, it's going to be interesting to see what he's able to do with the Lions because the Lions, I mean, let's be real. When was the last time you ever heard of Lions with a decent offensive lineman? It's been a while since the 90s.
I don't know.
90s. The only person I think off the top of my head is Lomas Brown.
Yeah.
That's the only person I think off the top of my head. Other than that, I mean, I don't really know. All right, Peck is in for the Jets.
Yep.
I am hearing that
commissioner.
I'm hearing that it might be a defensive end.
Okay. I don't think there's been any yet, so yep, Elijah Vera Tucker.
Okay.
So they get a lineman. So they got a.
So it looks like you got the pick right. You got the pick right for number 14. You just didn't get the team right.
Hey, there you go.
That don't count. You get half credit on that one.
No, how you get half credit, man? Like I should get double credit for that, if anything. Not only did I get the pick right, but a different team even selected that guy at that pick.
So again, it's half credit.
Double credit. Double credit.
You don't work like that. All right, well, number 15, Mr. Pats. It seems like they might be able to get their guy without having to make any movements. The real question is will this pay off for the New England Patriots?
Well, hey, they don't have to go with him. They could always go with another position. They got Cam Newton right now. It's totally possible that they're okay waiting, or they might not like Mac Jones enough to say, like, hey, Mac Jones is the guy we want, right?
I mean, I definitely understand where you're coming from, but I'll say this, and we talked about it all last season when it comes to Cam. That was not a good year last year.
Oh, no, not at all. It wasn't even close to being a good year.
And if Cam is on that short leash too, just like with Nick Foles in Chicago and just like with Jimmy G in San Francisco. Look, this is what I'm saying. Look, this is what I'm saying. These are guys that are going to be week 1 starters. That's not what I'm saying. But any sight of Cam not feeling confident in himself, I think they will put in Mac Jones by week 8, depending on how New England looks.
Yeah, if they select Mac Jones. Bill Belichick looking at his laptop like, I don't know if I want this guy. I know what everybody...
Could they surprise everybody and get a guy like Kyle Trask?
I don't see them getting like a off... I don't see them getting like an off pick here. Right? So like I don't see them getting somebody that nobody saw coming as far as one of the other quarterbacks. But what I do see is them possibly not going quarterback, right? So we're gonna see it's gonna be tricky here.
And of course, as always, if you are tuning into the X Talking Ish first annual 2021 NFL Draft Watch Party, please make sure you go ahead and give us a like, please, and make sure you go ahead and share this broadcast with all your other friends on all your other social media platforms.
All right, picks in. Let's hear it.
And that was very quick as well. They did not need to use the whole clock for this one.
Well, because they picked Mac Jones.
Most likely, that might be it.
I'm just saying that. I don't know that for a fact. Zeke back there yelling.
You know the pick, that's why.
He might. Here it goes.
Yes, sir.
Up, Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but again, how crazy is it that they sat there at 15, didn't move up like people thought they would have to get a quarterback,
and
he fell right to him.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. Well,
like how do the Patriots keep doing it?
Oh, he coming out, boy. He walking out that green room hard.
Oh yeah,
He trying to let y'all know I'm the next. I'm picking number 199.
He definitely got a. I think he's definitely got a
chip on his shoulder.
A chip on his shoulder.
Got to.
He's one of those guys like now.
Well, and also with this pick, that eliminates Aaron Rodgers going to New England as well. There was speculation of Aaron Rodgers maybe teaming up with Belichick. Come on now, you're getting him in first round. Unless you get him to trade him.
You could. Why not? If Green Bay wants him, but the thing is, Green Bay is pretty happy with who they have. Justin Love. They said that they're happy with him.
They can be happy all they want to. We got to see how it looks like on the field. Because I ain't sold at all.
You not sold on?
Hell no.
Okay. Well,
hell no.
You might not be sold, but they are.
I'm not sold on Mac Jones.
I'm not either.
So, I mean, we're going to see on that one. Look, the film looks nice because, look, and again, don't get me wrong, some of these balls that he's throwing, dropping it right in the bucket, not mad at that at all, looks nice. Mm-hmm. But when you're throwing it to guys, Jalen Waddle, Devonta Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner, that's able to separate and get 5 yards off the damn ball every time. I mean, come on, I can throw the ball to these guys. But, like I've said it once, we'll say it, and I'll say it 100 million more times. The best quarterback to come out of Alabama is Joe Namath. And that was in 1966, something. And it don't fucking matter. 50-some years ago, okay? Every other quarterback come out of Alabama has been backups. We're going to see how this one turns out. But I have, honestly, low expectations. But shout out to you as well on this one for getting another pick correct.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they need to just go ahead and make me a GM.
Well, if you want to, you always take the GM class from Miss Charisse.
No.
All right, now we're on to the Arizona Cardinals. Like their pick is in as well. They're not wasting any time.
It has to be Caleb Farley here.
Well, I mean, it could be Greg Newsome this second. I mean, I got him going to the Cardinals. It looks like you said, they're getting a cornerback. It would just be interesting to see what cornerback they get.
Oh, it's got to be Caleb Farley here.
I agree.
Is that who I had them taking?
You do?
Yeah. So I got to get another one right here.
I mean, depends
again,
on if
Mel
you get
Kiper,
it right, sir.
Stephen A. Smith, all of y'all, just give me a call.
You know what? If that's the case, no, we're going to need you to do all 7 rounds then if that's the case. If you want to be like that, nah, you ain't getting just the first round, Ish. Go ahead and do all 7 rounds, too.
Get them
HBCU players in there as well, too.
Oh, man. I mean, Houston Texans, I'm available. I think y'all have an assistant GM role open. If you don't, open it, and then I'm here for you.
My boy Ish going straight to the assistant GM role. He can't even start off with a quality control management, like something like that first. You got to work your way up, son.
No, not with as many picks as I got right so far. Yeah, they need to just go ahead and give me the assistant GM role. And the pick is in.
Arizona, who you gonna get? Who you gonna get?
Zaven Collins. Wow.
Oh, they got Zaven Collins? Oh, Lord.
I had him dropping all the way to Buffalo. Wow.
That is a great pick. That is a great pick. And we talked about that in the pre-draft show when it comes to that guy is a hot seeking missile for that ball. And wherever that ball is, he's going to go get it, and he will be flying all around the field. So that adds even more to. So now you have him, Isaiah Simmons from Clemson. Missing the secondary as well. But you have a couple of decent players in that secondary. Patrick Peterson is gone, unfortunately. But hey, Ish, like we talked about on plenty of episodes, Mr. Cliff, this is on you, sir.
With every move that they make,
this is on you, Cliff.
Pressure is being put on Cliff. I cannot state enough how much pressure is being put on Cliff right now. Dude, this guy, you got another player that he's gonna fly around on that defense.
And that's the play.
Really early. It's really early, but I might have to give my boy Cliff a little bit of support here and say,
give him a call. You're gonna have to call him up.
They might be up there with Seattle as favorites.
I got them winning 9 games. Minimum.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to call Cliff and talk to him. I gotta talk to him, see what he's thinking, what adjustments he's making. Because this Arizona team is starting. They're putting a squad together now. Like, this isn't any play around squad. This is a squad. This is a squad that, like, even with what LA has done, getting Matt Stafford, you know what you got in Seattle. they're coming. They're trying to make some noise this year. I'm excited. I was excited to watch them last year, even more so this year. I'm really excited to watch them play. But we're gonna have to wait and see.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now we have the Las Vegas Raiders. It's going to be interesting to see what the direction that they go to when it comes to what they want to fill their holes wise. I mean, they have holes all around that on both sides of the ball. The real question is if Derek Carr is going to be your guy, what more do you need to do to help him continue to be good, great, whatever? Again, I know the numbers look good, but at the end of the day, all people really care about when it comes to quarterbacks is W's. The W's.
That's true.
You're gonna get us the W's, and you haven't really been able to do that. It's not just Derek Carr. We're gonna put blame on John Gruden as well, because it is blame on John Gruden. But besides Derek Carr being under the hot seat, this is the year that John Gruden's seat will start getting a little warm. This will be year 4. This will be year 4 of the 10-year contract. And look, I understand that it takes time to build a team, but we just saw the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win the Super Bowl last year in 1 year. I know it's Tom Brady. I know it's a completely different person and all that stuff like that. I got that. But they brought John Gruden in here to try to relive that early 2000s rate of success that they had with him. Okay? So we were going to give him 2, maybe 3 years anyways.
So my question for you would
be, we have to see, okay, John, where is the results from what you said you were going to give us?
So my question for you would be, do you or do you not feel like John Gruden has been successful in reinstilling that Raider culture mystique? Do you feel like he's been successful in doing that?
At the moment, no.
You don't think so?
Want to be honest with you?
Okay.
I'll say this. Yeah, ish. The only reason why you're saying that is because you're a Chiefs fan, and that's the only damn time that they show up. And you know I'm right. That's why you're smiling. Other than that.
No.
Ish. Other than that, I don't take the Raiders seriously.
I'm not saying okay, but I'm not saying taking.
You're talking about bringing back that rough, tough attitude type. I know what you're talking about. I got it. It ain't nobody on that team that I'm worried about like that. Maybe Darren Waller. That's the only person. I'm sorry. Jonathan Abrams, the safety.
Yeah,
the safety
Abrams,
for.
I was gonna say,
other than that. I mean, he the only, like John Gruden. I don't know if you remember watching him on Hard Knocks, Jonathan Abrams, but John Gruden loves Abrams because there are times like John Gruden would have to tell him like, bro, I need you to like for real relax. But I love that shit. Like John Gruden be like, I love that shit. I want you to keep it up, but for real though, like for real, calm down.
The defensive lineman from Clemson, they also drafted.
I think Farley.
Or
Farrell or starts with F.
Farley or
something like that. I know you're talking
about
that.
Yeah. I mean, I think he has made a good impact as well. I think that he's done a good job of trying to get them back to that culture, but it's going to take time. The Raiders were not the Raiders. And like you brought up, they play the Chiefs twice a year. Yeah. They play, Denver twice a year. Denver's still a tough team to play against. Who else? The Chargers aren't necessarily walkovers. I'm not saying they're really good, but
Raiders pick is in. It looks like they've already made a decision, and it looks like Ish is not happy with that, and I don't know yet, so I'm waiting.
I don't even think I had him going in the first round.
You might be talking about who I think you're talking about out of Houston.
Alex Leatherwood.
Yeah. Offensive lineman from Alabama. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have him going in the first round.
I
think they're better.
I had him going.
Remember we were talking about Trevin Jenkins? Jenkins still available. I had him rated over him.
Yeah, I actually had my bad. Oh, my bad. I'm tripping. My bad. There we go, right there. I finally get me one. There we go. I finally get me one. Look at that. To the Raiders.
Wow.
Don't be mad. Hey, don't be mad. Let me finally get the best. Get my pick
Yeah,
17
you got
glory, baby.
You got it. You got you one. I don't know how that happened.
Now that's a decent pick. That's a decent pick. Not mad at that at all.
No, I'm mad at that. You still got some other guys on the board that I think they should be going with.
Well, if you're trying to protect that asset, or whoever else you bring in after Derek Carr. All right, now we have Miami on the board.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you're going defense now, right? I mean, we talked about that. Let's bring up the picks right quick. We both have defensive guys. I have Kwity Paye. You have Jalen Phillips. I'm assuming they go defense on this one because they went, of course, offense on their first pick.
What's crazy is the edge guys are still available. Those top
and it's a
edge
lot
guys
of good
are
edge guys
still
too.
There. And there are a lot of them in this draft. So it's interesting to see that they're still available and no one has really gone for them yet. So, I'm waiting to see.
But of course, we revisit these Las Vegas Raiders pick. We of course, like I said before, I went offensive lineman, you went defensive lineman. So we were assuming they were going to pick someone in the trenches, and they did. And Mr. Leatherwood went to the Las Vegas Raiders. It don't seem like Ish is too happy about that, but
I didn't like the pick. But hey, it is what it is.
To be honest, man, look, I'm looking at 22 with my Titans, man, and if some of these edge rushers keep dropping, man, I mean, we might be able to get somebody we were not expecting to get. And I have no problems at all passing, not picking a wide receiver or a cornerback at 22 and going for a pretty decent edge guy to help out on defense side of the ball.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think Jalen Phillips is the pick here for me. He's still on the board, but you still got guys like Caleb Farley available. You still got, you still got some of these other guys that I just think.
Asante Samuel Jr. You still got Aziz Ojuri. You still got, Joseph Asai out of Texas.
The pick is in for the Dolphins. And Roger is headed to the podium. It's got to be defense. You got an offensive guy with your first one. It's got to be defense here.
I really don't understand why my delay is so.
Man, there we go.
Uh-oh.
I got another one.
Uh-oh.
I got another one. From the U to the Dolphins.
I mean, I don't mind that pick. Again, it makes sense when it comes to geographical. I understand that, but Kwity, please keep dropping. Please come to Tennessee.
You want him to go to...
Please. I want to see him and Taylor Lewan go at it in practice. Woo! It's a lot of talent still left on the board, sir. It's a lot of talent still left on the board.
Sir. Oh, hold on.
And since Ish had to take a quick little break, I'll just keep y'all entertained with the Washington football team is up next with their pick. And it's going to be very surprising to see the direction that they go because at the moment, Ish picked Micah Parsons. He, of course, is off the board at the moment. I picked Tevin Jenkins, offensive lineman out of Oklahoma State. And I'm assuming that they would want to help beef up that line. That's why I went ahead and went with an offensive lineman. But if they don't go offensive lineman here, and Ish and I just talked about this recently, Tevin Jenkins could keep on dropping, and not in a bad way, but just due to the way, unfortunately, offensive linemen just have not been getting picked in this first round, he could continue to drop and maybe fall into a team like the Indianapolis Colts or maybe somebody like the Pittsburgh Steelers or even the Cleveland Browns. So, I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with the rest of this first round because this first round, man, I mean, this is what we kind of expected. I mean, we expected this to be a little unpredictable. That's the best word I can use on that one. Unpredictable, fun to watch, and excited to see these new faces and new places and see what they can bring to the team talent-wise because let's all remember as well, this is just round 1 of 7. So we're of course, going to have more picks in these next couple of more days. And to be honest, you probably definitely get a lot more bang for your buck day 2 and day 3 of the draft because you're able to get certain guys. You're able to get certain guys that either might have a chip on their shoulder for getting picked in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round that are going to focus in a little bit more while they are at the team that they're at because, again, they feel this type of way. Just because you're a first-round pick does not mean you automatically make the team. You know, let's remind everybody that's watching out there, just because you get drafted, it does not mean you're going to automatically make the team. You have to still earn a spot on the team wherever team that you get drafted at. So it's up to these guys that are getting drafted to still put in the work because the work that they put in to get to this spot still doesn't mean that they are going to continue to have the spot that they have in the NFL because it starts all over. Just like when you go from the regular season to the postseason, no matter what you did in the regular season, ask Pittsburgh Steelers, right? We saw that. We saw what happened with the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. Went into the postseason game against the Cleveland Browns. Looked at them like little brothers. We're going to take care of them. Don't worry about the Cleveland Browns. They're just the Cleveland Browns. And they got their ass smacked, okay? So with that being said, just because you're a 1st round or a 7th round pick doesn't necessarily guarantee you anything. The only thing that guarantees you anything is you putting in the hard work to make sure that you are able to stay in that business, in that small group or fraternity of NFL guys for the next 5, 10, 15, maybe even 23, 24 years to Tom Brady. God damn, that's too many years. Boy, Tom Brady been in the league almost longer than I've been. Like, he been 20, about 23. Yeah. Woo! Just when you think about it, man, Tom Brady, boy, just pick number 199. Just won Super Bowl number 7 for him. It's all possible if you just put in the work, baby. It's all possible. All right. Nobody wants to hear me chit-chat anymore about Tom Brady. Let's get right into Washington football team with their pick. Their pick is in. We will see very shortly the decision that they decide to go with their pick. And just to let everyone know, if you're not watching the draft, they did this quick little pan over of the fans that are in Cleveland watching this draft. And Cleveland is lit right now. Cleveland, they have their fan support out there, and they are repping the Cleveland Browns hard as usual. Expect nothing less from the dog pound out there in Cleveland. And for a COVID type of draft, looks like the NFL are doing pretty good at the moment, being able to try to keep everybody's mask on, of course, try to social distance, of course, while still making it fun for everybody that is there at the facility that they have, the little makeshift stage that they have out there in Cleveland. So All right, Washington, they are up. Roger Goodell is coming to the podium. By the time Roger announces the pick, I'm pretty sure my partner Ish will be back shortly as well. And if he doesn't, we'll just recap with him when he gets back. Oh, wow. Okay. I definitely did not have him on my board at all in the first round. Jamine Davis, linebacker out of Kentucky. Okay. Well, that's different. Kentucky out here trying to produce some players. Out here in these streets. Definitely saw him more as a day 2 guy, but that's the thing about the first round. You know, you're always gonna get some surprises, and this is definitely one of them. Especially going back to back. I'm sorry, the last 3 out of 4 picks defensive guys. The Raiders messed that up, getting an offensive lineman, but from the Cardinals to the Dolphins and to the Washington football team, getting defensive guys. I'm assuming Washington, of course, wants to make sure that defense is solidified going into the season because of some of the offensive teams that they have to play in their division. Let's remember as well, this is the defending NFC East title holders at the moment. And it's going to be interesting to see what they do in year 2 with Ron Rivera and see if they can win the division again and maybe make a run in the playoffs. And who knows, maybe this could be the start. This pick can help move them into where they want to be as a football team moving forward, identity-wise. Toughness, grit, and great work ethic. So we're definitely going to keep an eye out for the Washington football team. And let's see what happens with this linebacker, because I'm surprised on this one. I wasn't expecting him to go at number 19, but hey, that's why we call it the NFL draft. Not even just the NFL draft, any draft. It'd be World War II draft. It don't matter. You don't know who's gonna come in and who's gonna light it up for you, who's gonna let you down. So. Welcome back again. What's up, Ish?
Back again.
Now, we were just talking about, of course, the Washington football team and their pick. I'm assuming you saw the Washington football team make their decision?
No, I did not.
If you want to go ahead and check out your app right quick.
All right, give me a second. I will.
No problem.
Quiddy pay.
What, to the Giants?
I mean, it makes sense to me.
I mean, they're talking about their offense at the moment when it comes to need to help out their offense. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where they go. I mean, I'm assuming you want to help out Danny Dimes and help out that offensive lineman. I mean, help out the offensive line and get all the offensive linemen. But like you're saying, you're talking about best player available. Quiddy. So, yeah, Washington football team with their pick, Jamine Davis, linebacker out of Kentucky. Like I was telling everybody that was tuning in, I wasn't expecting him to go first round, the first day of the the first day of the NFL draft. I mean, he looked like a day 2 guy to me. But that's the thing about the draft, man. You never know what you're gonna get.
You never know. That's the thing. Like we said, it's not an exact science, man.
So at the moment, pick number 20 was for the Chicago Bears. Of course, it is now for the New York Giants. Of course, at the moment, that's if you look at the little ticker down below, you see who we were thinking that the Chicago Bears were going to get. Now they are not going to get those guys because they're not picking. So with the New York Giants, I'm assuming it's going to be an offensive lineman. But it'll be interesting to see who they go with. Do we go with my bad. Tevin Jenkins? Does Tevin Jenkins go ahead and get scooped up?
That would be a good spot for him. I don't know. I don't know with this pick because with the Giants, who knows? But here comes Goodell finally. Yep. What? Kadarius Toney. Remember when everybody was remember when Lee asked me if I thought that they would take wide receiver with all the wide receivers they had? And then they came out with Kadarius Toney, the wide receiver from Florida.
Yeah, I know I heard that name.
Ahead of Bateman.
And you see a lot of Giants fans are like wondering like why are we doing this?
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this one.
And speaking of Lee, it's funny that you just mentioned him because you just texted me. He said, "I don't know what's happening right now." And to be completely honest, I mean, I think a lot of us kind of feel that way right now because I'm confused with this one. Why you make that pick when look, what I will say with this, when it comes to New York Giants, they must feel some type of way about Danny Dimes. They must really feel like all we need is for him just to get the ball out to these playmakers and let them go to work. That's what it seems like. Because I'm just worried about is he actually going to be able to stand upright stand upright and be able to perform without having to be on his back throughout most of the game. And if he is on his back most of the game, it doesn't matter if you have Saquon or Farley or whoever. I mean, you can have
Tony now.
I mean, it don't matter. But if you're on your back, it doesn't matter what type of weapons you have. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to perform with the way you need to perform because you're not protected.
It's an interesting pick for me. I did think that they were going to go wide receiver earlier in the draft, but only because of who was available, not necessarily because I thought that was a huge need for them. So for them to come and make this selection, I don't know. What do you think, X? Wow. I am still speechless about this one.
I mean, again, like I'm just replying back to Lee right quick. I I just got to see. I apologize for all the stuttering. I'm just don't really know what to say right now because I'm just worried about Danny Dimes. This is not Patrick Mahomes, right? This ain't Deshaun Watson. This isn't Russell Wilson. This isn't a guy that we could say, all right, forget offensive lineman. Offensive line. It could be mediocre. We know this guy's going to show up, right? We haven't got that from Danny. First of all, why in the hell I keep calling him Danny Dimes? He has not even earned the name yet.
Yeah, he's not really dropping the dime.
Name right? Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones hasn't proven anything yet in the NFL for him to even deserve a nickname. So I'm just like, this could really good. This could be, I'll say, this could be really, really good, or this could be really, really bad.
Yep.
And I'm honestly leaning more on the really, really bad part because I don't see, no disrespect to Daniel Jones. I just don't see the wow factor out of him. I don't see it. Maybe New York Giants fans see it in them. I don't see it though. So now this is what's interesting to me. We have, of course, AFC South rival, the Indianapolis Colts coming up to make their pick, and they can go a lot of different options on this one. Excuse me. You pick Kwity Paye right there. I mean, he could fall into their lap like you picked.
Yeah.
They could get an offensive lineman. They could maybe get a cornerback. Caleb Farley still on the board. But I will say this: whoever they do get, the person that they probably wanted might drop to the Titans. If they try to get somebody to where the Titans don't get them, again, it's still so much talent on the board left for the Titans. The Titans are still in a good place to where it's like, okay, I mean, you get such and such, that's fine. We'll get such and such, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be interesting.
It would be very interesting to see what happens with this one. Kwity Paye definitely is the guy for me. If I'm just, I think you got to get another pass rusher here, but we're going to see. Picks in.
The Colts wasted no time on that.
Yeah, they didn't. Not at all. They already knew who they wanted, though.
Well, we are almost 2 hours into our stream, and the NFL draft is almost about 3 hours into their draft.
Man.
And yeah, it goes by slow, but it also goes by fast at the same time.
Yeah.
So, of course,
shout out. Picking up, it picks up.
Shout out to our boy Lee, of course, tuning in as always. Said, bruh, I don't know what's going on, but I love it. He also says, good call ish on Giants receiver.
Yeah.
But I'll say this, Lee, since you are tuning in, what we were talking about before you jumped in onto the stream, I was assuming that the Giants would want to help out Daniel Jones. I can't call him Danny Dimes no more until he earns the nickname. I would think that they would want to help keep him upright, so you want to go get maybe an offensive lineman or maybe a defensive lineman, help on the defensive side of the ball. But for the Giants to go skill position and get another wide receiver, Lee, how do you feel about that? And also, will it work in New York? Because if Daniel Jones is not upright, it doesn't matter who you have on the outside or even in the backfield. You're not going to be able to get the ball out if you're on your back. So let us hear your words and thoughts on that one, Lee. We definitely would love to hear from you. And the Colts pick is in. Let's see what the Colts have up their sleeve at pick number 21.
Let's see who it is.
And of course, before we get to the pick, Lee also says, I feel like there was bigger needs, much bigger, honestly. He also says Colts, another
Quiddy Pay, there it is.
Pass rusher makes them defense even better. Yes, and of course, unfortunately, yeah, I got you, Lee. Another pass rusher, I got you, baby. Yeah, they some. I hate the Colts. It just makes me want to hate the Colts even more now. I do not like the Colts right now.
Hey, like I said, Texans. If the assistant GM position is open.
Hey, is that one of your African brothers out there? Ish?
Oh yeah.
Where he from?
That's one of my brothers. He's from LIB.
Okay. Out there in Denver. Who knows? You might have some family out there in Denver. You'd be surprised. Oh, that's the Black Panther. You got the Black Panther on too.
Bro, that's my brother right there.
Suit looking fly. All right. Well, now I can go cry in the car like Red after this is over with. Why do my Michigan men have to become Colts? I don't understand it. This is bullshit. Alrighty then. Tennessee Titans, pick number 22. What do you have for me, Tennessee?
Let's see what they're going to do.
Lee says, I missed y'all's stream. Can y'all give me a quick recap? How do you feel about some of these wild picks?
Man,
we'll go over that right quick before the Tennessee Titans pick. We'll give a quick little 2 minutes, and then after the whole draft is over, we'll stay on for about another 5 more minutes, talk about it, and then we'll have our draft recap show on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Ish, you want to start off first?
I mean, just looking at the picks and what has gone on so far, we knew the quarterbacks were going to be interesting. I think the story right now is definitely Mac Jones dropping all the way to 15. Like that, I don't know that many people saw the Patriots being lucky enough to just sit there and get Mac Jones, get their quarterback. So that's good for them, bad for the rest of the league, potentially, depending on how Mac Jones goes. Outside of that, the Bears. The Bears moving up to 11 for Justin Fields. That was an interesting one as well. Man, I didn't see that one coming at all. I don't think Andy Dalton saw that one coming, so that's going to be an interesting one. See how that plays out. The Cowboys getting Micah Parsons, that was a big move for me. A really great pick. I can't say anything bad about that one. And outside of that, I think it's been pretty standard as much as we thought it would be.
You gotta throw in there Zaven Collins to
Zaven Collins. Yeah, not expecting Zaven Collins to go to Arizona. That was a big one too. That was a shock at the time. And then there are two, I would say two clear puzzling picks. Alex Leatherwood at 17. I think that one for me is very puzzling. And then Davis from Kentucky to Washington.
Jamine Davis.
Yeah, Jamine Davis. Like, I don't know about those two. Those two picks, I feel like those are reaches. I think there are better offensive linemen available that the Raiders could have gone with. And then at linebacker, I definitely feel like, the two linebackers that I would have picked already were gone, but there is still Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah available that they could have gone with. So I don't know, man. That one's a head scratcher for me.
Yeah, Lee, of course, asked Waddle at 6. I know y'all said something on that. I had Waddle going to Philadelphia at pick 12. That was, of course, before they traded out. But even within, of course, Waddle got scooped up before pick 12, going to the Dolphins at 6. To be honest with you, that was for me. I was more surprised that they didn't want that that the Dolphins didn't want to pair up Tua with his miracle moment.
They did pair him up with somebody. Waddle.
I know, but I'm saying to be able to be back with the guy that pretty much puts you on the map, Devonta Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner, Devonta Smith, the only wide receiver to win a Heisman since Desmond Howard. So I'm just like, I'm sorry, Charles Woodson. I apologize, Charles Woodson. So with that being said, I was just more like, I don't know. We'll see. Lee also asked a good question because I definitely understand this one. What you're asking on that one is I'm sorry, Lee is this another Ruggs over Judy mistake like last year? Well, let me just answer that right quick because let's be real. Ruggs or Judy didn't really have that good of a year. If you want to be completely honest, Judy didn't really have that good of a year last year. So let's scrap the rookie year. Even Jordan Jefferson. Just because you did it your rookie year, that doesn't mean you're going to do it year 2, year 3, year 4, right? So let's see how they perform their second year, and we can be able to have that conversation moving forward.
Yeah, I think it could be. Because I think, like I was saying about him when he got chosen, everybody wants the next Tyreek Hill. Everybody sees what Tyreek does with Kansas City, and they're like, oh, we want the next Tyreek Hill. You have Ruggs, go to Las Vegas. And I even called him out specifically. Like, everybody was saying, oh, that's the next Tyreek Hill. And then he didn't really have an impact. So to me, it's cool to say you want the next Tyreek Hill, but how do you go about getting that guy the ball to make sure that he has that kind of impact that Tyreek has in Kansas City? I think Tyreek is lucky enough to play for Andy Reid, who is able to draw up things to get him in the positions he is able to get into to be successful. Are they going to be able to do that in Miami? I don't know that for sure. I do know that Jalen Waddle is electric. He is a playmaker. He is fun to watch. He is a home run threat every time he has the ball in his hands. But it's just going to be, do they draw up the right plays? And are they able to execute so that he can do those things? Time will tell. But I think Devonta Smith going to Philadelphia is a better fit for him. I just think that you're going to go there, you reunite yourself with Jalen Hurts, and hey, that's going to be fun to watch. My only concern for him is they don't really got much else at wide receiver right now. So you're going to be asked to do a lot going in there. I'm hoping this pick here is Caleb Farley.
I really want a defensive lineman.
You want a defensive lineman.
Don't say nothing yet. Even though I know you probably going to
the pick is in.
Pick before me.
The pick is in. All right, X. I'm going to tell you who it is.
No, you're not. I'm going to stab you with this
You sure?
knife.
Landon Dickerson. Come on, bruh.
Why you do that to me?
I'm joking.
So we get to you wanted to get off the board. Okay,
bro, I said it.
I'll take that. I will take that. Not mad at all. We finally got us a decent corner.
Hey, you needed it. Malcolm Butler left. That's why I said it had to be
Adoree Jackson.
Adoree Jackson, Malcolm Butler gone. You just needed that guy. We
need another dog. We need a dog.
Yeah,
we don't need kitty cats. We don't need no kitty cats. All right.
Y'all need a dog.
Meow. We need a meow. We need roar. All right, that's what we need. And that's what Caleb Farley is. Come out of Virginia Tech. That's what he is. That's what he does.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, G. Thank you, J. Rob and J. Rob we trust. Woo! Alrighty then. Hopefully we'll see the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game once again. Maybe not. We'll see. Well, now my nerves can rest a little easy there.
Hey, That's crazy.
Lee says, I think he's the best corner in the draft, period. Dude
Yep,
led up
it.
one touchdown his whole time in college.
I said it. Best cover corner in the draft, dude. Man, hey, this is honestly, X. This is big for the Titans. I think this is one of those.
No, you out here trying to pump on my head and stuff. Chill out.
Nah, I think that this, honestly, for the way that they like to play defense, man, this is gonna be that pick.
I appreciate that, Mr. Farley, but I can't appreciate the Martin Lawrence gun holster he got on right now. He got that little, got the little fanny packs, but he got the little holsters on him and whatnot. I know it's the swag. I know, but just saying.
Yeah, let the man have the swag, bro.
I know. All right, looks like the Minnesota Vikings are on the board at the moment. Of course, New York Jets had this pick; they got traded out, and
I mean, if you're Minnesota, offensive lineman still prime for you here.
Yeah. You got a couple of good offensive linemen still.
And the pick is in. The pick is in. They wasted no time. So I think they traded back and they knew kind of what they were looking for. So
we are at pick number 23. We have nine picks remaining. It is 10 o'clock in the Central Time Zone, 11 o'clock in the East. This draft probably should be wrapped up around 10:30ish.
It should have already been wrapped up.
Well, you know how the NFL is. You gotta make sure you get all team time.
Yeah. They gotta get as many commercials in as possible.
Gotta get that ad time in, baby.
I mean, this has been. I haven't been disappointed to say. I think this has been one of the more entertaining drafts in memory for me. I don't think that I can remember a draft that was more entertaining than this one. Just because of all the unknowns, like we said, opening the show, that it's just like, wow. All right, come on, NFL. Let's wrap this thing up. All right, we back. The pick is in. I mean, what do you guys think so far? What are some of you guys? What are y'all's thoughts on what we've been able to see so far?
Well, a little bit late. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's still a school / work day. So unfortunately, some of our folks might have left us. But we're gonna hold it. We're gonna hold it strong. We're gonna hold it strong out here.
We're gonna continue to hold it down for sure. But There goes Mike Zimmer. Zimmy Zim.
What you got for us, Minnesota? What you got for us?
All right, here it is. Oh, Christian Darrisaw. Yep. Hey, I called it. Lineman.
I mean, you did, but did you?
Yeah, let me double check. I'm almost positive I had him going to, maybe not to them, but I did have him going. Christian Darrisaw.
Let me see who you had.
Oh, no, I had him going to the Chargers.
Oh, okay. That sound like did you? Yeah, so you had him going. You had him going number 13, but he dropped to the 23rd pick, which isn't bad.
Well, the tackles, the edge rusher and offensive linemen, they dropped.
Yeah, which is very surprising, especially in this draft that has a lot of good offensive linemen. I wasn't expecting them to drop like that. Oh,
I did not either. I thought they were going to be coming off early, to be honest. And edge rushers, I thought they were going to go earlier, or a couple of them. I thought a couple of them might have gone a little bit earlier.
now this is the Pittsburgh Steelers. We talked about this. Lee asks, are they going running back? I mean,
running back.
In our pre-draft, as you can see, it looks like Ish and I are pretty on the same, pretty much on the same page when it comes to Najee Harris fits the bill for what the Steelers want to do when it comes to running the ball. I mean, that's when it comes to Alabama and their running backs, they produce nothing but great runners. So, except for Trent Richardson, that's another story for another day. But it seems like this is the best fit for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Am I wrong?
I don't think so. I think that it's got to be running back there.
And then they'll fill in their other holes they need to later on in the other rounds of the draft. And there we go. Looks like we got that one right.
Hey, perfect. Like we said, there were certain picks that just made sense, right? And it just made sense.
I mean, that's a great pickup for the Steelers. I mean, that helps the Steelers get back into what they want to do, which is running the ball.
Yep.
They don't want to throw the ball 55, 60 times with Big Ben no more. No. They need to limit Big Ben to 35 times, maybe 40 times
I was gonna say,
game.
They don't need to do that, really.
I know. I know what you're saying, but
they shouldn't have to.
That's what the point I'm getting at is you don't. Big Ben is in a point of his career where he just cannot throw the ball around like that and expect to win games. You need to run the ball. you have to give Najee Harris and whoever's going to be behind him 30 carries between the two running backs a game.
Some people thought Travis Etienne was going to be the first guy off the board. Well, Najee Harris.
I'll say this. Yes, I did pick Etienne to go to the Jets. That was, again, because of the Jets' second pick. I assumed they were going to go offense. Of course, they made a trade. So it was pretty obvious that Najee Harris would be the first running back to come off the board. But I will say it seems like Etienne might slip into the second round, which isn't a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing at all.
It's not a bad thing at all. And he could fall into a team that could use him day one, and he could be electric for that team. I'm just happy he didn't go to the Jets. To be completely honest, I'm happy he didn't go to the Jets.
Remember, I said it. I don't like picking running backs in the first round. I just picked Najee Harris here because I felt like it was just a match made in heaven, really.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that it's a bad thing if he goes in the second round. I think Travis Etienne can fall to a team that needs him, a better fit for him, and I think that'll be better than, having to be a first round guy, right?
And speaking of running backs going in the first round, I actually just had a friend of mine that is a Atlanta Falcons fan, and apparently he was a little disgruntled with the pick that the Atlanta Falcons made at pick number 4.
What?
I'm just letting you know. He said he feels like the Atlanta Falcons needs a running back. I said, look, you can get a running back in the third round. You cannot get a Kyle Pitts. You cannot get a Kyle Pitts in the third round.
Let's look at like an Alvin Kamara. Let's look at some of these other guys that have been guys that don't get selected. I mean, look at Phillip Lindsay a couple years ago, undrafted, goes to Denver, and what he did. Like,
there's certain positions out there that you are able to find diamonds in the rough because of certain skill positions. Man, it is what it is. Coming from wide receiver, running backs, you can find those. You can find those late in the draft. It's certain positions that you kind of have to go with in the first or second round. Quarterbacks, linemen, defensive linemen, and then if you are a specimen at other positions, then you're like Kyle Pitts. He's at the moment he is the highest drafted tight end ever in NFL history, and there's a reason why for that. If you look at his film, it's a reason why he is picked number 4. To be honest with you,
a tight end, right?
And to be honest, you're correct. But that's what I'm saying. If it wasn't for the 3 quarterbacks, he might have gone number 1.
If you could have gone a lot higher.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So, I mean, be very interesting. All right, we got Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock, and at the moment,
Jacksonville again. I said they were going to. What did I say last time?
What? About what?
I said that they were going to go. Did I say wide receiver?
Oh, you talking about for your pick for Jacksonville? Yeah, you got Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss, who a lot of people Tennessee-wise thought that the Titans might pick Elijah Moore and try to pair him with A.J. Brown, 2 Ole Miss wide receivers. To be honest with you, I didn't really care for that. I'm perfectly okay with the Caleb Farley pick. But Elijah Moore, I think he could be, depending on his work ethic, depending on how really good he is, who knows? He could be the next A.J. Brown for another team that he gets picked up to. Who knows? You got the Baltimore Ravens at pick 27. That could be a perfect fit for Lamar Jackson and Baltimore Ravens. Cleveland Browns might be petty and say, you know what, we're going to scoop him up so Lamar Jackson don't get him at 26. Because to be completely honest, and we can do this another time, I wouldn't be surprised that OBJ is not in Cleveland.
Well, they're saying that they are looking forward to him being back, so we'll see.
All I'm saying is, I would not be surprised at all if OBJ is not there. If they get a wide receiver 26, OBJ is going to be gone. We have to wait and see, though. We have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Jacksonville Jaguars pick is in.
Yep, the pick is in.
Ooh, they debuting some of these. I'm sorry, they previewing some of these games on ESPN. Ooh, got Brady versus the Patriots, boy. It's gonna be a good one. Gonna be a good one. And speaking of Jacksonville Jaguars, we'll go ahead and touch on this for a little bit right quick before Jacksonville Jaguars make their pick. The 2021 NFL Draft. We have all these young, fresh faces coming in. And for some reason, this old man named Tim Tebow is making news waves saying that he wants to have a tryout with the Jacksonville Jaguars to play tight end. Ish, please tell me how you feel about this.
It's ridiculous that that's even something we're talking about right now. Like it is absolutely ridiculous.
It's low-key kind of a slap in the face to all the other tight ends that are in the league right now. I mean, if you look at it seriously though, if you look at just again with Kyle Pitts, we just talked about recently. Yeah. Y'all seriously tell me y'all want to throw to a guy like Tebow instead of throwing it to a Darren Waller, a Travis Kelce, Kittle, Kyle Pitts? Like seriously, if Tebow is able to get a spot with the Jacksonville Jaguars, y'all just go ahead, just go win y'all 6 games, Jacksonville. Just go win y'all 6 games.
Hey, that's what they want. They want Tebow. They can have Tebow, man. Let them have him. Tight end Tebow.
Please don't start that. We're not doing that.
What? Tight end Tebow?
Hashtag tight end Tebow.
Tight end Tebow, bruh.
Please no. Please no. Tebow, please just
tight end Tebow.
Stay on ESPN. You're doing a great job over there. I think you're doing a great job at ESPN.
Tight end Tebow.
SEC Network. It is. Just please.
Tight end Tebow. Bruh, don't disrespect tight end Tebow like that, bruh. Best tight end in the game.
This how you're gonna do it. You're gonna literally just say how this shouldn't even be a story. We shouldn't be talking about this, and now you're trying to hype up the
best tight end in the game.
Here you go. You're a child.
There hasn't been a tight end like him since
Dick
Gronk
Buckets.
in his prime.
Dick Buckets, back in the day.
Oh no!
You son of a bitch.
Travis Etienne.
Yeah. God
what? Bruh. They just killed my fantasy team.
Well, I mean, I'll say this. It's smart. You pair up your Clemson quarterback with your Clemson check down guy. I mean,
bruh, they got a running back that just performed really well.
I mean, but again, it's a safety blanket for Trevor. So, I mean, it makes sense.
That's crazy. I'm sick for my fantasy team. Man, they just did me dirty. Wow.
Just like we did just say that maybe Travis might drop to the second round, and just like that.
And just like that. Wow.
Now, again, my thing with Travis, and I've said this before, didn't matter if he went to the Jets or goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm just worried about did Clemson run him into the ground.
I mean, he's got a lot of yards.
That's what he has a lot of yards.
Have a lot of yards on him.
That's all I'm worried about. And it's not it's not like it's a lot. It's not like it's Reggie Bush yardage, right? Where like nobody was hitting him. No, he got touched up. You know, he's and they're comparing him right now to Alvin Kamara, and he's definitely that's what he is. That he is definitely Alvin Kamara. You get the ball in his hand, and he's able to make a couple guys miss and be able to take it to the house, and he can do that with Jacksonville. Again, the question is what else will Jacksonville do to fill out the rest of this team? That's the real question. All right, I don't know about you.
I'm ready to see this Cleveland pick.
That's exactly what I was going to say. This is a very interesting pick because let's remind everybody, this is a Cleveland Browns team that actually won a playoff game last year.
Hey, they're a dangerous team.
They won a playoff game, beat their older brothers, Pittsburgh Steelers, in a playoff game. I'm not saying it's going to happen again this year. I'm not saying that, but this is an opportunity for you to keep on building on what you have and get a solid pick that can help hopefully in week 1. Because usually when you are draft somebody in round 1, usually you are hoping for them to start in week 1. Usually. Again, depending on who you are and all that stuff. So if you are Cleveland, who are you going to get? Maybe an edge rusher. We both picked edge rushers. There are a lot of edge rushers still available. Maybe you get an edge rusher and solidify that defensive line even more. Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney. So Cleveland could have some
edge rushers available.
I was saying Cleveland could have some headed monsters over there real quick if they make a really good choice at pick number 26.
Pick is in. I had them taking Azeez Ojulari, who's still available.
And to be honest with you, I think you might get this one. I mean, I don't see why this wouldn't be the pick. If not him, then Joseph Osai. We'll see.
All right, the commissioner is going up to he's walking up to the podium now, so
who's this?
Let's
guy?
see.
Little pumpkin head dude from Cleveland. One thing I will say, thank God after the first round, y'all don't be having certain people be calling out names and stuff like that. Like, speed this stuff up. Thank God the rounds 2 to 7 don't last this long, because I'd be like, all right, I need to hurry this up, bro. I ain't trying to watch this on TV all day.
Seriously.
Again, I love football, but not that much. I got other stuff to do.
I'm all for the draft and, like, making it into a big thing, but jeez Louise.
Got shit to do tomorrow.
For real. Your boy trying to go to bed.
That's all I'm saying. It's already 10:26, and we still got literally 6 picks left, including the Baltimore Ravens.
And they stretching it for long as they can.
They trying to get to 11 o'clock. That's what they really trying to do.
Oh.
Don't tell me I ain't see.
Newsome the second.
Oh, so they went and got him? Okay. That's a good pick.
Wow. To pair with Denzel Ward?
And also with Mr. Newsome, I mean, again, he's right there in Chicago playing in Northwestern. I think it's a good fit because, again, he's used to that type of weather, used to that type of that type of playing field, playing on grass. That's a good pick for the Cleveland Browns. I'm not mad at that at all.
Wow. That is a big pick there.
Not mad at that at all. Alrighty then, before we get to pick number 27, I just want to let everybody know your boy's hair is definitely made by Kevin Summerlin's Afro Sheen. So if you ever need some of Kevin Summerlin's Afro Sheen, we call it the get in. We call it the get in, take your money and get out. U of H, A&M in Arizona. That's what we call it. You see that? I know you see that. Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out Kevin Summerlin.
That's funny. I didn't know we were doing. We had a sponsor for the episode.
Well, sometimes you gotta throw a little something in there. All righty then.
Man,
the Baltimore Ravens. This is another very interesting pick. I'm excited to see what they do for Lamar Jackson.
I mean, they may not do anything for Lamar Jackson.
Well,
word is they're the front runner for Julio Jones.
Anyways, reports said that they were looking draft wise for a wide receiver. If I'm Julio and I tell bruh, if Julio goes to Ravens, I'm not even taking Julio Jones seriously. And if he does go to Ravens, you better run routes 10 yards and less. You better catch the ball and go make a move, go do something. Because expecting to get a deep ball from like a Matt Ryan deep ball from Lamar Jackson ain't gonna happen. Expecting to get a post route from Lamar Jackson ain't gonna happen.
Why you being disrespectful?
Go watch the film. How much disrespectful you go watch the film? So you know I'm right. Go watch the film.
How you gonna disrespect Lamar like that, bro?
That's fine. That's fine. Again, y'all can say what y'all want to say. At the end of the day, go watch the film. But yeah, Baltimore Ravens have about 4 more minutes left until their pick.
And they're gonna use all 4 of them, aren't they?
Of course they
just to draw it out some more.
Of course they are.
I mean, you still got Bateman here. You still got Terrence Marshall Jr. You got some unknown people. I mean, you could just go with the wide receiver that nobody has in the first round if you want to be like, oh boys.
That's exactly how I feel.
It's starting to wind down, aren't you?
Hey, this is sleepy time for me, sir. This is time for me to get ready for
I agree.
Bedtime.
I agree.
I know we getting old and stuff, but honestly, I don't care.
Not at all. They playing with my bedtime. The pick is in. The pick is in.
All right.
Man, is it me or does it seem like the commercials is a long time, huh?
Nah, it definitely ain't you, sir. Trying to finish watching this Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm almost done.
Man, you're not finishing that.
You said we're not finishing that? I'm on episode 5. I'm on episode 5. 5 and 6. Now I'm caught up. All right, here we go, Baltimore. You better do what you need to do and get a wide receiver. I'm okay with being wrong on this one. I know people think I might be a Lamar Jackson hater. No, I just want the best. I want to see the best Lamar Jackson I possibly can see from him. That's all. I don't want. One thing I don't like is when people start trying to compare him to Vic and be like, "Oh, he's his generation Vic." No, he's not, bro. He's not. Y'all forget about how y'all forget like the highlights wise version, the highlights of Vic.
Yeah.
Like, but I will say this. I don't know if you've seen on social media recently, but they did a little comparison of who would you rather take, Vic or Cam. And what was crazy to me was everybody, of course, was picking Vic because of nostalgic, because of this highlights. But if you really look at what Cam has been able to do in the league, I mean, you prime-wise, if you're taking both people's prime, I have no problems being the outlier here. I'm taking Cam any day of the week. That's just me. That's just me. You can call me crazy. That's fine. And you can say, oh, so that's Super Bowl. Vic made it to a Super Bowl? Well, what about Vic won the MVP? Vic broke Peyton Manning's passing yardage for a rookie?
I would take Michael Vick.
But
I got you. Rashad Bateman. Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yep. Bateman.
From Minnesota.
Here's the problem I have.
And I'm not sold on him either, but yeah, I got you.
Here's the problem I had with them taking a wide receiver here. Yes, we've been crying for them to take a wide receiver. Yes, that's a need for them. But I'd argue it's a need because Lamar Jackson doesn't throw the ball to wide receivers. Like, I don't know of any wide receiver that is.
So are you being a hater right now? Are you being a Lamar Jackson hater? Are you hating on the black man?
I'm just speaking the facts. The man doesn't throw the ball to wide receivers.
Those are the tight ends.
I just feel like it doesn't matter how.
And Hollywood Brown.
How good of a wide receiver you are. And even he doesn't throw to Hollywood Brown that much. So it's like, and I kind of feel like Bateman is similar to Hollywood Brown in build. So are you just getting more of the same?
I don't mind Bateman. I think he's a good receiver.
So you got Brown, Sammy Watkins.
Okay, yeah. So speaking of that, who's number one? Who's number one headed into the season? Is it Sammy and Bateman too?
But that's what I was trying to get at. Like, I just don't feel like this guy is,
because I'm not looking at Bateman to come in and be a game changer week one. And I might be wrong. You know, maybe the Ravens see something in him that can translate into the NFL moving forward with Lamar. You know, who knows?
I'm not liking this pick.
I got you. You know, maybe Lamar is able to draw in defenses because they expect him to run, and all of a sudden they throw it over the top to Bateman. You know, now you got to cover it. Now you got to actually really cover wide receivers. I don't know, but it's going to be something to look at. And like you said, if you have three guys that are kind of, or two guys at least that's kind of the same, and you have another guy that's smaller than those two guys, and then not just that, they play in Baltimore in an open stadium. That's another thing to take account of too. Hollywood Brown was not adjusting well in cold weather games and later on in the season. That's just something that I saw. I don't know if anybody else saw that, but I'll say this. If this project does not work this year with Lamar Jackson.
Oh, you think it's time to move on from Lamar?
I didn't say that. What I'm saying is there will be some people on the hot seat. There will be some people on the hot seat. Because I'll say this. If you look at the resume, the things Lamar Jackson has been able to do while he's been in the league, it has been great. It has been great. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not saying that his hasn't been great. But if we are going to dismiss what Cam was able to do in his career, because he hasn't won an NFL Super Bowl or he hasn't done certain things, then again, I'm looking at Lamar Jackson the same way too. I'm not about to let up on Lamar. I'm not letting up on Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, anybody. If you want to, if Lamar coming out here saying he's the best, he's this, he's that, I just need you to go out there and show it. That's especially when it matters. That's just how I see it. Because we know what you can do in the regular season, Ish. We know what Pat Watson. Like, even if you have a shitty regular season, we ain't worried about that. As long as you win one game in the playoffs, we'd be like, oh yeah, there we go. See, that's Deshaun Watson that we know of. Like, that's Lamar hasn't had that game yet. And let's remind everybody back just last year against the Tennessee Titans. Did everybody forget how they won that game? They were losing until he finally let off on one, a big run for a touchdown, and that was the main reason why they even won the game. Okay, so for Lamar, everything for him is riding, I think, on this season. And it might be very prematurely me saying that. But I need to see the ball come out of his hand a lot better.
Oh,
more consistent. I need to see things quarterback-wise from him. I don't give a damn about what he does with his feet. I don't. Because every time I see a quarterback highlight from him, it's him running the ball. And we've seen what happened to RG3. We've seen what happened to multiple quarterbacks and go on and on and on. After they lose their legs, okay, what else do you have? Just like in basketball, athletic individual, once you lose your athleticism, can you shoot the ball?
Yep.
So it's gonna be interesting to see. I as Wale would say, hashtag sue me, rooting for anybody that's black. Okay, rooting for everybody that's black. Of course, you know I'm not hating on the man. I just want to see excellence. That's all.
Yeah.
If me wanting you to be great, that's all. If me wanting you to be great is being mean, then I'll be mean all day.
I mean, it's just wanting to see the evolution of like taking that next step at the position, right?
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
I have no problem with you wanting to see that evolution at this stage in his career, right? I just don't know if the Ravens are on the same wavelength as you at that. I don't know that they will be feeling the same way, if you know what I mean.
I got you. I'm listening. I definitely got you. I'm just looking at the division, okay? The Steelers, when Big Ben leaves, I don't know how that's gonna work out with the Steelers moving forward. So we have to wait and see. The Cleveland Browns are on the up, and if the Baltimore Ravens stop, if they don't get it together, the Browns might get past them when it comes to being the top dog in that division. And when's the last time we ever said the Cleveland Browns are the top dog team in the AFC North? Like, really? Okay, so with that being said, it's usually between the Ravens and the Steelers. If the Ravens cannot get their stuff together, I feel like they're going to miss out on opportunity especially with a guy like Lamar Jackson. Oh, and that's who I was talking about with the guy from Houston. Apparently,
Peyton Turner.
Yes, apparently there was reports of him saying that he might get drafted in the first round, and for him to come out of University of Houston and go first round like that, I mean, that's shout out to him for real though.
Hasn't happened
Shout out
since
to Peyton
Ed
Turner.
Oliver.
Yeah. It was a couple years ago, of course, out of going to Buffalo Bills on that one. But for Peyton Turner, I mean, it seems like University of Houston out here trying to turn out these defensive lineman guys and trying to make a name for themselves. They praise him when it comes to his character, his work ethic, being able to make plays. So, I mean, it'd be very interesting to see how he fits in that New Orleans Saints defense.
Oh, the pick is in for Green Bay already.
Okay, let's get it in there. Let's get it in there, Green Bay. Let's go.
Let's hurry up
this draft. Let's go.
Man.
All right, of course.
Boy trying to go to bed.
The most recent news with the Green Bay Packers, of course, Mr. A-Rod saying that he doesn't want to be a Packer anymore. Does that change
A-Rod
up?
don't want to be there.
Does that change up what Green Bay wants to do draft-wise? Or what do you think, Ish?
I don't think so, because I think that they have their heir apparent who they feel comfortable with at quarterback. So I think really what it boils down to at this time is I was thinking more so were they going to trade him during the draft to get more draft capital and try to get some picks. But I think you still do exactly what you were going to do here, even before the reports came out that Aaron doesn't want to play with y'all. Like, I'm going defense on this one. But they might be getting a weapon for Aaron.
Now, of course, we made this mock draft last week before the draft started, and this was, of course, before the news of Aaron Rodgers came out, and I picked offensive lineman because, again, I assumed that they wanted to help A-Rod. So, to be completely honest, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they do go with a linebacker, but I'm kind of lost. I'm kind of lost on where you want to go Packer-wise with this one, you can go any way you want to. We shall see. Come on, Green Bay. What you got for us?
They're saying they want to hold on to him.
I mean, of course they do. But from the other reports as well that I've saw, it's not just about the contract. Apparently, it's something deeper than just contract issues with Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. What it seems like it seems like something personal. I don't know exactly what it is.
Well, he wasn't happy with the first-round pick last year. They traded up for a quarterback.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, there's a number of things that I think he's not happy with, but I don't know.
I mean, I guess he can also look at Tom Brady and say, look, man, this guy went from, being with a team for almost his whole career, then going to a new team and win a Super Bowl just like that. I'm not saying that he thinks he can do the same thing, but he probably might feel like, shit, maybe the grass might be green on the other side. Maybe I might need to go to a franchise that actually give a damn about me and actually want to put the pieces around me to help me succeed. But every team out here is not like a Tampa Bay. So just because you feel that way, that doesn't mean that it will automatically happen for you. And being able to win 11 to 13 games every year, being in the playoffs, maybe hosting a playoff game, seem like almost every year, that's something you don't want to take for granted. Because there's some people out here that just wish to be able to go to playoffs in consecutive years, right? So sometimes the grass isn't always greener. You might want to keep on watering your grass on your side, as they will say. All right, who you got for us, cheeseheads?
Yeah, let us know, Roger.
Go home, Roger. Oh.
Wow.
Did not see that coming.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
If you can't tell, I'm speechless.
I see why Aaron wants to leave.
I'm confused. This
is your position, sir. Please let the people know.
I mean, he's fast. I just don't. I didn't see him going this high. I don't know. I mean, he's a good corner. He's very fast. He's got that makeup speed. He's got some length. He's got a little bit of size, but nothing that jumps off the page for you.
Now, how you feel about technique-wise? They are, of course, showing some of his highlights. Do you feel like his technique is sound, or you think his speed makes up for some of his?
I think he's got decent technique, but I do think he relies on his speed at times.
And that's what I'm seeing too.
I think that he does rely on speed to get him into position, and I think against better, more sound technical receivers, he does struggle a little bit, which is why I didn't have him going this high. I do think that there are other corners that you could have got. Mainly Asante Samuel. I think he is just better for me. Also, I probably would have gone, if I'm looking at DB, my guy from TCU, Trevor Morrig. I would have. He's available. He's not a corner, but I don't know. I'm confused with that one. I would have preferred that they went defensive line. Barmore from Alabama still on the board at this time. Also, in the mock draft, I had them taking Owusu Karamoah. So I just don't know. Aziz is still available at the edge. I mean, there are other guys that I had at this one, but hey.
This is why we're not the GMs, huh?
This is why Aaron Rodgers wants to leave. And why we're not the GM. Although Texans, I'm still available for an assistant GM position if you are willing to give me this shot.
All right, we got 3 picks remaining in this first round of the 2021 NFL Draft. And unfortunately, it looks like we are going to get to that 11 o'clock mark. I was hoping to get out of here about 10:30, but
I told you you're not finishing. You're not going to finish the show tonight.
Oh, we're going to finish that show tonight.
Man, you might be lucky to get to sleep before midnight.
Shit.
The way they milking every second of this draft, they might not finish this draft until tomorrow morning.
Relax. You ain't lying, though. I will say the Buffalo Bills will be a team to watch out for moving forward as well, too. I mean, of course, made it to the AFC Championship game. I think everybody pretty much knew that they weren't really going to win that game against the Chiefs, but they definitely made it competitive, and they definitely wouldn't be surprised at all if we might see them again next year. But everything comes down to, was Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, was it just a one-year thing? Or can this grow to be an every-year thing? And if it's an every-year thing, then yes, the Buffalo Bills are a scary team moving forward. This is I've said it once, I say it again. Josh Allen is this generation's Jim Kelly for the Buffalo Bills. He's a great fit for that team, for that city, for the NFL as well, when it comes to the evolution of quarterbacks. You know, he's a gunslinger, and he can not just run the ball, he will run your ass over. He'll run you over, and he can jump over you too. I've seen plenty of highlights of him jumping. Stop doing that, but plenty of highlights of him jumping over players. And like we talked about Lamar Jackson, when it comes to progression-wise of being a better quarterback year in and year out, Josh Allen is the model of going from shittiest quarterback to one of the better quarterbacks because you went in the offseason and fucking worked on your mechanics. Like, that's the thing with me is, like, people out here make too many excuses for Lamar Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what happened last year with Josh Allen. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm sorry. I had my uncle out here calling Josh Allen a bum. He ain't that good. This, that, and the third. The whole season, I said, just keep watching. Just keep watching. And of course, it led him all the way to the AFC Championship game, right?
The pick is in.
And just to finish up what I'm saying, if Josh Allen, not just him, but other quarterbacks, we've seen Tom Brady change his throwing motion in the middle of his career. If those guys can do it, Lamar, you have to go out and go do it. It is what it is. You have to go back from day one and really hone in on being a professional quarterback. All right, let's go ahead and bring up our Buffalo Bills pick.
Here comes Roger.
I had a defensive lineman from Iowa. Most likely, of course, Xavier Collins will not get picked on this draft. I mean, this pick because he already got picked.
He's already gone.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I didn't see it just.
Why Rousseau over Ojulari or Joe Tryon?
Gregory Rousseau?
Yeah.
Defensive end. These Miami defensive ends trying to make a name for themselves. I don't know. They must have seen something in Miami. The NFL must see something in Miami, even though they had a good season. They obviously had some talent, just didn't unfortunately put it all together. But off to Buffalo. I mean, that's go ahead and beef up that defense even more, Buffalo. Sure, appreciate that. Makes sense why, of course, he really wasn't probably on our boards because he was a 2020
Yeah, he
a
didn't
2020
play.
opt out. I apologize.
Yeah.
He opted out of the 2020 season, so that's why, of course, we weren't able to see him last year. But I'm assuming Buffalo's been keeping an eye on him for a while now. And I'll say this too, Ish. I don't know how you feel about this opting out for players opting out. Of course, due to COVID, I'm not mad at them for that. What I'm saying is, do you feel like the year off will help them be a little fresher going into the NFL season?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about that.
No, I'm just asking because I feel like, later on in your career, 26, 7, 8, might be very good for you to take a year off. I'm not saying go retire. I'm just saying sometimes taking a year off because of just the wear and tear on your body, just your body taking all them hits. It might be good for you to take a year off and then come back and then be able to play maybe a couple more years that you weren't expecting because you were able to take that year off. I really don't want to use Gronk as a comparison, but it's just the most recent player, of course, that did that was Gronk. And even though he wasn't the same Gronk he was still effective. So I'm just trying to figure out, and I definitely don't. It's not going to be a trend. I'm not saying this at all, but do you feel like being able to take 6 months, a year off, really does help your body?
I think it does. It's good. The recovery is good. And just because you're taking it off from playing the game, it doesn't mean that you're not still keeping yourself in the best shape possible, right?
Yes. Because there's nothing that replicates football conditioning and football stamina than going out there and playing football.
Yep.
And I don't know if you see this. I'm pretty sure you do. Looks like Kansas City Chiefs are not in the 31 spot anymore. Looks like they traded out to the Baltimore Ravens.
Because the trade for Brown, the tackle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My bad. I apologize.
Yeah,
that happened.
The trade
happened.
We got our first round. Pick.
Literally, I think the day or two after our mock draft. So that's why it is what it is right now at the moment. And they did say that the Baltimore Ravens did say that they're going wide receiver that first pick. They did that, and they could go again.
They could double.
They could go and get another wide receiver, Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore's still up on the board. It could go ahead and scoop him up. Be very interesting to see what happens.
I think they go. If I'm them, I'm going edge rusher Azeez Ojulari here. I think Azeez makes sense here. I also think you got, like I said, Owosu Karamoa is still available. Joe Tryon still available.
I don't know if you've seen this with Alex Leatherwood when they do the little, the players, little fun facts about him. It says known as a meme connoisseur. He has over 1,000 memes saved on his phone.
Wow. That's crazy.
Funny. That's funny.
All right, the pick is in.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Like I said,
last two picks.
Last two picks,
please.
baby. 11 o'clock, baby.
Sometime today, please.
Ugh. And of course, as always, after we get done with this draft watch party, we will be back full effect on Tuesday, 9 o'clock on X Talking Ish, where y'all can, of course, check out our draft recap. And you'll be surprised who else might pop on the show as well. So please make sure you tune in for the draft recap and everything else we have to let you guys know about on Tuesday.
Man, these commercials are going forever tonight.
There's nothing like football on ESPN. All right, Ravens, don't mess it up.
Oh,
I don't know, man. I just feel like the best and safest, easiest pick is if you're gonna double down on wide receivers, go ahead and get Elijah Moore. Let Elijah Moore and Bateman battle out for wide receiver number one in training camp. Most likely it might be Elijah Moore, and you go like that. But and let Sammy Watkins play that number 3 like he's supposed to play. This is Michael Irvin. What's Michael Irvin doing in the background?
Jason away. Linebacker, Penn State. Hey, they need it. I'm okay with that one.
Jason who? I didn't see the pick. Jason away.
Oh, the Buccaneers pick is already in. Look, the Buccaneers ain't playing no game.
Appreciate
that. They done. The Buccaneers were like, man, y'all made us wait all this time. We're done, okay?
I'm assuming Owe is another African.
Yeah, bro.
I see the African dancer, so I was just like, okay, I see. You know what part of Africa?
I don't know what part of Africa. The pick is in. I'm curious because, man, this was lightning quick. So they knew who they wanted. Or somebody fell to them that they weren't expecting to be there.
I'm going to go with you. They getting Tevin Jenkins.
You think so?
I don't see why they wouldn't beef up the line. Why not? I mean, he falls right into your lap. Get him.
Man.
If not, Elijah Moore.
The rich get richer.
Elijah Moore, go ahead and get another wide receiver. I mean, I really don't look. If you're Tampa, I mean, everything is. You can get. I mean, everything's up for grabs right now. I mean, you can get whatever you want. All right, Tampa, go ahead and close us out for tonight. We appreciate the draft first round, I should say, and we appreciate this very entertaining first round because that's what it was. The rest of the round should be Very interesting to tune into. I will not be
no, we will not be live.
We will not be live at all.
But we
will be tuning in, and we will be keeping up different updates on X Talking Ish, and also on our personal social media pages as well. So, of course, if you want to tune in and talk, if you want to talk with us and also chat with us, you are, of course, more than welcome to tune into X Talking Ish on our Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram pages.
Here we go. Thank you, Roger. And put us out of our misery.
The Buccaneers are going to go ahead and get their picks in, or their pick in, and we are going to go ahead and get up out of here for the night after this.
Oh, Joe Tryon. Okay. I like that.
Yeah, I love it how I told you. Your ass already. Stop trying to tell the damn picks. Wow. Mr. Jenkins is falling into the second round. All right, he's gonna be a steal. We'll be surprised. Jacksonville got the first pick of second round. We'll be surprised if all of you go Jacksonville or the Jets.
Man, there's some guys that dropped that, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Okay, he was an opt out as well. Okay, I was trying to figure out who the hell is Joe Tyrone. Okay.
You got Ojulari. Ojulari still available. Terrence Marshall Jr. available. Elijah Moore. You got Owosu Karamoa.
I was gonna
Landon Dickerson. Trevin Jenkins.
Osai.
Asante Samuel Jr. still there. I mean, Christian Barrymore from Alabama still available. I mean, goodness.
In the words of Travis Scott, it's lit.
Hey, it was. There were some surprises out here.
All right, with that being said, we were going to, of course, talk a little bit more about the draft after it's over. But we're going to say that for Tuesday because we are tired and it's time for us to go to bed. We got work tomorrow. And we appreciate y'all, as always, for tuning in to the live show, watch party at X Talking Ish 2021 NFL Draft. We appreciate y'all. We will see y'all next week. Peace, love.